writer, podcaster, artist, or indie creator of any kind, you'll know what a struggle it can be to find creative services at an affordable price. And that's where Gig comes in. The global indie group has everything you need under one roof. You can connect with publishers, writers, editors, artists, videographers, musicians, composers, voiceover artists, podcasters, and more.
Hi, I'm Lori Calcaterra, and I'm on Gig.
Hi, this is Ben from Comic Book Squares, and we're on Gig.
This is George Medina, and I'm on Gig.
Hi, I'm Morgan, and I'm on Gig.
I'm Lauren.
And I'm Matt, and we're Hops Geek News,
the geek-centric beer-loving pop culture podcast.
We're on Gig.
Cheers.
Hi, I'm Letzi, and I'm on Gig.
Hi, I'm Witty, and I'm on Gig.
We're on Gig.
Head to globalindiegroup.com now and check it out.
Everybody, welcome to another episode of Indie Comics Relay. I'm your host, Keith Gleason, creator of the Mighty Mascots and promoter for the Plastic City Comic-Con. With me is Harry G, graphic artist extraordinaire. No Johnny C, though.
Oh, man.
I know.
But, well, for a good cause, though.
He is.
San Diego.
I've missed the show to go to San Diego, to be honest with you.
Right.
Too. You know, it's just, that's the mecca of Comic Cons, you know?
Yeah.
But how's your weekend been, Harry? I saw you Saturday at Plastic City, which was cool.
It was fun. Yeah, it was a good turnout, huh? At the convention.
Yeah.
Do you have any final numbers? I was wondering.
Yeah, well, it actually was about our average, which is kind of wild. Like, I actually think we had more people last year, which is odd, but I think we had a bigger space too.
Right.
And
Did it seem that way
later in the summer? What's up?
Well, because it was at a hotel this year at the so maybe people were coming and going, so maybe you couldn't get a whole sense at the scale of how big it was. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, we average we think about maybe anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 or something around there.
Mm-hmm.
It's always hard because we don't count the kids.
Yeah.
So
all right, it's true.
So we take, we figure out by the money how much adults there were, but then we just have to kind of guess. I mean, I guess if we cared about the final numbers, I guess we could try to get some bands that would, that we know are just for the kids, but it'd probably be too confusing to try to keep track of all that stuff.
Right.
But it was in line. Our numbers were in line with when we were at the hockey rink pretty much.
Oh.
So it wasn't like a massive drop off. Like, it was more just our normal numbers, which I'm fine with. Like, I'm one of the rare Comic Cons that does not want to grow any bigger than it is. I like the size that it is.
Yeah.
And I'm not angling to sell the con to like a fanboy expo or anything. So I'm fine with our level of, I don't know, popular, I guess, our popularity, I guess, but yeah, overall, I've heard nothing but good things. I mean, I've heard a couple negatives, but nothing crazy,
Oh, what was negative? What didn't they like?
Just like some people saying that they didn't do well, and And then I almost had to stop a fist fight at one point
jeez.
on Saturday. That was fun.
It wasn't a shirtless guy, was it? Or
no, no, I have not seen that guy ever again.
Oh,
That's such a funny, weird thing that happened, and that we just never saw again. But no, it was. I mean, I smoothed it out, you know.
Yeah, and Jimmy Hart made an appearance. You know, that was pretty cool. He was so. I mean, this is the second time I've met him, but he's so like down to earth and like, you know, a cool dude. Like I was asking him about his trip down here, and I guess he gets caught in that whole like upgrade.
Yeah, that was
So he gets
that
stuck
was
at the
a fun
airport.
Friday.
Yeah, right.
A funny story about that. So
Yeah.
Friday, I get a call at 6 a.m. and I thought it was my mother. Like, you know, I'm like, because I'm like, who the hell's calling like this early in the morning? And I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So I didn't get up to get the phone. I was like, if it's my mother, she's gonna call my cell.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden the cell phone rings and I'm like, oh shit, what is this? And I pick it up and it's Jimmy Hart's handler yelling at like, and I was like still half confused.
Yeah.
And he's like, they canceled all the flights, blah, blah, blah. He started telling me what's going on with the whole Microsoft thing. And so they canceled Jimmy Hart's flight, and I'm like, oh shit, you know, this is gonna suck. He's our big guest. And so he found a flight going to Providence, Rhode Island instead of Boston from like Southwest or something.
Oh.
And so he was able to get literally the last seat on that plane and get Jimmy Hart in there to Providence. So then all I had to do was like call the limo company and get that sorted out. After 3 hours, we got it all figured out, and he made it there Friday night, which was funny. He was like dead tired, but he showed up right when we got to the convention. So I talked to him for a little while. Such a sweet guy, man. Really nice guy. And the one thing I really liked about him, and this is the first time I've seen this in any guests, you know, is that he really cared about, you know, making like, so most of these wrestlers or actors, when you get them for a convention, they have, they call a guarantee, which is they have to make a certain amount of money.
Yeah, I was going to ask you if he did or not, because you were telling me about that.
No, he cleared it, no problem.
Oh, that's cool.
So his guarantee is like 2,000, but if he only made 1,500, I have to put in the other 500 to make up his $2,000.
Yeah.
But he was really concerned about that. Like he, you know, he's like, yeah, you know, like I want to make this. I want you, you know, to make the guarantee so that I don't, you know, so he's, I mean, I never saw a guest like concerned like that.
Like concerned like, so that you wouldn't have to pay or cover for
right.
it?
Yeah. Concerned that I wouldn't have to pay.
Oh, good.
You know,
that's cool.
He's just really nice. He's really open to like cutting promos like the one I did that morning, which I really wasn't ready for.
No, that's cool.
But that was great. And then every time I talk to him, really nice guy and very good with the fans too, because I watched him interact with some of the fans and couldn't ask for anybody better. I was
hoping that there'd be a big line, like a big healthy line to his table, you know, and when I first got there kind of wasn't, you know. I'm like, oh, hopefully like
he constantly had people though. That was, you know, sometimes there wasn't a line, but he constantly had one or two every time I walked in. So it was good. He finally made it, you know. And but yeah, no, it was he was like, out of all the years I've been doing this, seriously, one of the best guests I've ever had.
Yeah, so. I mean, this is my second time meeting him. I met him at Super Mega Fest, I think, one year, you know, and he gave me, he's like, you know, he had his megaphone there at your convention too, and like when I met him at Super Mega Fest like a few years ago, I was like, oh, here you go, like he gives me his megaphone. I'm like, what am I doing with this? Like, you're the guy, you know. So I'm like, how about you yell in my ear? I'm like, you know, like, oh, okay. So I'm like,
or smash you over the head with it,
or
like
something. Yeah, right. Yeah, but. It's just so funny because whenever you watch any like A&D biography or anything with a wrestler, he's always, you know, commenting or talking on his being interviewed by, you know, or in the background somewhere. He's like omnipresent. It's pretty funny.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
There was a friend of mine that you know that found out he was at my show, and he's like, I still haven't forgiven him for you know, beating up Ricky Steamboat and having Honky Tonk Man become the intercontinental champion.
Yeah.
Which I thought was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, overall, we'll talk more about the convention at the end of the show and stuff. I just want to zip through the comments really quick.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And then we'll bring in tonight's guests, which I'm excited to talk to all of these guys. And I think all these guys know each other well, which is great. So we'll have a pretty great show. We got Brandon from Dismay Comics with us. I showed up real late for Catch the Craze, not showing up late twice in a row tonight. Dang. I said, no, he's never better late than never. Amy said Johnny is on assignment away.
Yeah, right. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Amy said to tell viewers to tune in tomorrow for a larger wrap-up discussion. Yeah, me and Amy sat down earlier today and recorded a Plastic City Comic-Con like wrap-up, post wrap-up, where we just talked about everything that went well and things where we can improve, what we thought about guests, different things, everything you'd want to know, I guess, for the show.
Yeah.
And then Amy said the drop-off was likely due to the time of the year and local competition. We talk about that in the video as well. Dismay says a fist fight at a Comic-Con is pretty wild. I got there right before it happened, Brandon, which was good. And then I basically shamed the both of them. I was like, I walked in, I was like, what are we in high school? I was like starting to, throw my weight around. And I was just like, did
you kick
guys
these guys?
I know. What's that?
Did you kick them out of there or they
well, there was about 2 or 3 hours left of the show.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I asked they both calmed down. They both were okay after. And I didn't hear any problems after, but
were they guests or fans of
no, they were vendors.
Vendors. Okay,
one was an artist that I've known for years. And the other vendor is another one. He's a pain. And I think I'm probably done with him because every time I have him at the show, whenever there's like even a slight problem, it always leads back to this guy. And I'm like, I think I'm done. Yeah. So I, just for my well-being, I'm not going to, not going to deal with it anymore. So,
right.
More, what do you see? We got George Medina. He was at the show this weekend. Hey guys, Plastic City was incredible. Oh, that's awesome, man. Thanks for, I'm glad you came, man. He drove pretty far to come to the show. Did you get to meet him when you were at that show?
No, I was busy. I got there late too, and my friend Lucy came with her 3 kids, so I was trying to entertain them, and it was actually their first convention, so I was showing them around, like asking them what they like to read, and and they're like just shy. They're like, oh, can we touch some of the things? I'm like, oh yeah, whatever, and they're like. They had fun, so I bought them.
It's good that you're encouraging we need that younger generation to get into comics.
I've been trying to get them to draw too. So when they were younger, I was teaching them how to draw, simply, whatever little shapes and characters, whatever. And it's funny because when they first got there, my friend Lucy's youngest, Alden, had a drawing in his pocket. It's like, Harry, can I show you something? I'm like, please, sure. And he loves bunnies for some reason. He loves bunnies, and he drew a scene of a grass and a tree and a little bunny hidden in the grass at the bottom. I'm like, oh my god, it's awesome! You did that? I was like, yeah. I'm like, oh, cool. And then we went to one of the vendors, and I forget who it was, but he was showing us his comic and everything, and telling us all about it, the story behind it. And I'm like, hey, Alden, show him your, because he was drawing something at his table at the time. I'm like, look at him. He's drawing one of the characters right now. He's like, actually, you want to show him your character, the bunny you drew? He's like, sure. And he shyly, took out his pocket and showed him. I
love stuff like that.
And he's like, how do you get so good at? I can never be that good. He's like, sure you can if you practice long enough. If you a little bit here and there, you'll get to be this good one day. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's good that the artist can encourage them. Do you remember who it was by any chance?
I know I've talked to him at length before. I just can't remember his name right now. It's not coming to me, but he's a cool guy. Yeah.
Nice. That's good. George was saying, by the way, what made Plastic City incredible was the Wonder Duck puppet by you, Amy. Thank you. I saw that. That one. Amy made a Wonder Duck puppet.
Yeah, I saw the picture. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Came out awesome. Beth is with us. Hey, Beth, good to see you. Beth is one of our volunteers for the show and a good friend of ours. Wonder Duck stole the show. Yeah, it did. I got to admit, like seeing George's face when he was opening up the box to look at it was awesome.
Yeah.
And let me see. Red Shirt stole the show. People like George Medina are the reason I like making puppets. And George said, "Thank you, Beth McNutt and aw shucks, Amy." That's awesome. And I'm glad, George, you made it out to the show. It was awesome to see you there. Audrey Hebert, she said, "Hey, Keith, great show on Saturday. You throw a heck of a party." Thank you so much, Audrey. Thanks for tuning in as well. Appreciate that. And he said, "I'm definitely catching that wrap up." Oh, nice. Lunch Money Comics in the chat. Had to jump on for a few to say hi. Fantastic show this weekend. This is Mike from Lunch Money Comics, who has an awesome YouTube channel you guys should check out. It's he's one of those comic hunter guys. He goes and finds deals and awesome, Silver Age and Golden Age books, cool. And such a sweetheart of a guy too. I had a few minutes during the show and was able to chat with him and do an interview, and I think he's going to throw it up on his channel in the next month or so. So look for that and subscribe to Lunch Money Comics if you haven't. And let me see what any other ones. Oh, George said it was well worth 4 hours. Well, that's awesome. Thanks, guys. Yeah, we'll talk a little more at the end of the show about Plastic City. I'd like to hear what Harry's, experience was throughout, because I'm bouncing around that place like a crazy.
Oh yeah,
man.
right.
So
yeah,
I miss all these like cool side stories that happen, around the show that I never get to hear.
I'm sure you slept very well that night.
Yeah, I'm still not
Right.
100%. Like I think
You
I need
sound
about
good.
another day. My voice is a little better.
Yeah,
than
you
it
sound
was
good.
last night.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Mhm.
That's awesome. So without further ado, we should probably bring in tonight's guest and just have a nice chat with everybody. Couple of good campaigns coming up. And what did Lunch Money say here? He said, "Thanks, and yeah, look for the video in a few weeks. It's a very photogenic comic show." Yeah, I can't wait to see what you took pictures of, Mike. That's awesome. Thanks for jumping in and let me know you're here. That's awesome. And like I said, check out Lunch Money Comics. It's a great channel. All right. So without further ado, let's bring in tonight's guest. We got two brothers one of them's been on the show before, one hasn't. And then our good friend Tony, who's been on the show many, many times. So let me start with the first one here is Justin Soto. What's up, Justin?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hey, how are you?
How's it going, man? Thanks for joining us on Indie Comics Relay. And let me bring out your better half here, Ben Soto. What's up, Ben?
Wow, I've never been referred to as his better half.
It's a better. Now, which one of you guys are older? Is it Justin? Justin,
I'm the older one.
Ben, you're older. Okay.
Yeah.
I would have guessed the other way, but not by much. Or year? How many years apart?
7 years apart.
7 years apart.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I've lived a hard life. Yeah. I get it.
That's awesome. And then let's bring in our third guest, our friend favorite here, Tony James. What's up, Tony?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Yeah. The Soto brothers, you guys are unmistakably related. When I first came on, I just saw Justin. I was like, "Oh, Ben got a beard. That's pretty cool." And then I was like, "Oh no, that's not Ben."
Like that episode of Star Trek where Spock grows that goatee.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the mirror.
the evil twin.
We got both versions of the mirror universe here going on.
You can tell. You can
That's
tell
great.
they were evil based on the facial hair.
Yeah.
Common
And
trope.
Amy said the older siblings are always more childish, right, Keith? I can attest to that because I am the older sibling, and on my side, my brother's only a year and a half younger than me, and he's super serious, hard worker. Me, I'm the slacker comic guy, So, but you guys are both into the comics, which is awesome. That is cool, and I like that you guys work together. You make your own. How long have you guys been making comics together?
I think we started 2018.
2018 sounds right. 2018, 2017.
Oh, so it's that recent. It wasn't like something you guys did when you were younger, huh?
Not we just sat around and drew together, but I don't think.
But we never thought to make a
story
book
together,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we
Gotcha.
would create stuff here and there, but like actually publishing stuff came around in 2018.
No
We
kidding.
decided
So
to
fairly
put her feet in the
recent.
ground, like really publish something, put something out there.
Was Tricks and Treats the first thing you guys did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
Cool.
You guys now, I know it's all horror. Are you guys major horror fans?
Yeah.
We are, yeah.
Nice. Me too. You know, it's funny. Like, I'm a big horror fan, and I don't know if are you a horror fan, Tony? Or
Oh yeah. I said on the show, like my dad had this huge cabinet full of like horror VHSs, and I like watched all of them. So I was like watching slasher flicks when I was like 8.
Nice.
Yeah.
Me too. I was watching that stuff when I was way too young.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, it's funny though. Like I love horror movies. I love going to horror conventions and things like that. But like, I don't have a horror comic, which is odd. Like Amy's like, why don't you write something? And I was like, no, I just don't have an idea for a horror thing. You know, it's weird. I don't know why. Maybe it's just gonna watch so much. I don't know.
Would you want to though? Would you?
I would if something came to my mind that I felt was like fresh and different enough. I probably would.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I got something for you.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll workshop it.
Yeah. Hey, I'm down with that. I love what you guys are doing, and the anthology stuff is great. Like and you guys write all of these yourself, or?
Yeah, sometimes we'll bring in help.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, it's both Justin and I doing the writing.
Nice. And do you guys both do art too? You said you do,
Mm-hmm.
right? And do you guys do some of the art on the stories here?
Yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, actually, in volume 2, Justin's doing like most of the heavy lifting here. He's, what do you think, like 4 or 5?
I think it's 4 out of the 6 or something.
4 out of the 6 stories, yeah.
Do you guys write similarly or draw similar, or is it the same style?
Probably closer. Our writing style is probably closer than our art style. Our style is different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think we have some of the same like influences and the same like notions of like drawing and stuff, but you can definitely tell our styles apart.
Oh, okay.
You can probably also see where they meet sometimes too.
Yeah. Justin grew up and he was very into anime, so that's to see some of that influence.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, like I'll bring a campaign up soon so we can take a look, because I know you guys have. I looked at it and it has all the different stories that are in the second volume of. Is it more pages than the first one, or about the same?
It's a little more pages. I think the first one was 94 pages. This is going to be 100.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. And Tony, have you ever written a horror comic? Like, did you released, or you have an idea one that you're in the works with?
Well, I mean, Star Noir has horror elements in it. There is one that I have in my drawer that is that has it's much spookier. And the artist that actually works on Star Noir, like we've talked about it a number of times. So.
Oh, okay.
We'll
that's
eventually
cool.
get to
So you might have something down the road. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's cool. He's a great artist too.
Yeah.
The Star Noir guy. You found a really great artist there, Tony. Like
great team, because the artist and your colorist is just amazing.
Yeah. That's a top looking book. Like it's just really, really solid.
Yeah.
And I love the first one, so I can't wait to read the second.
I mean,
one.
yeah, the second one, we're like finally getting to like the end of the book. Like the my artist Pablo is like literally inking the last scene in.
That's nice.
Book. Yeah, and
When
so
do you project that to go to the printer? Maybe a couple months.
So that's and then it's like sort of like a mad dash for the Kickstarter for book 3, but like. Everybody has to have the books in their hands before I launch the third campaign. So
so are you trying to get the third campaign started before the end of the year? If possible?
Last time we did it in late September. I think this one's going to be in October. And there's going to be no gap, no break. We're going to jump right into the next book because we have the script already ready to go. So.
Oh, gotcha. So they're going to just start right into issue 3. That's a smart way to go. Have it all ready for them to go. That's what I was kind of doing with my Mascots books when I was doing crowdfunding for 3 at a time. I was trying to get like each script ready to go when the artist finished the previous one, so that you can just keep going. I found the guy kind of got burned out a little bit towards the third one. So I don't know if I do multiple books going forward, I'll probably only do 2 instead of 3, you know, but
yeah. And the I went to Brooklyn Comic-Con. I never got to tell you how that went.
no, I'd love to hear your experience and like now was that the first con that you set up at?
That was the first time I had ever tabled ever.
No
and
kidding.
it was pretty amazing. I mean, I had my expectations really low. I took your advice, Keith, and I took Johnny's advice. Time. And I kind of really was like, all right, well, if I could break even, I think I won. And I actually exceeded that completely.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah. People
that rarely happens too, to tell you the truth. I mean, it does happen, but it rarely.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was sort of hoping for like that first taste free experience where you like, you know, the first time you do a new venture, like you hope that one goes well, so that the next few times when it doesn't go so well, you remember that the first time, like it is possible for things that, you know, and I definitely got that. What was crazy to me is people would like buy the book and then they would kind of like come back like an hour later and they were like, can you sign this? Like you need to sign this. And I just I just thought that was so great. Like some people were like, do you want more money just for me to sign it? And I was like, no, I'm not famous. Like I'll just sign it for you.
Yeah, I know. I get that sometimes too. And I was like, no, signatures are, you know, like we're not like Alex Ross here, you know?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know, or Stan Lee or whatever. But like,
but I just love
that's awesome though.
I love the con experience. I think what you guys didn't set me up for that I thought was pretty awesome was the kind of like camaraderie with like other vendors that are next to you. There was a commission artist and he had like all these like DC characters. And then I was like just telling him like, oh, I'm a huge fan of Batman. And then like 30 minutes later, he's like tapping me on the shoulder and he's like showing me this.
Oh, wow, look at that. He just gave that to you?
Yeah, he just drew it for me right then. He drew Spider-Gwen for my partner Gwen, because her name's Gwen.
Yep.
And then not to mention, like there was a whole bunch of pro wrestling, like amateur wrestling that was going on the entire time because they have a wrestling ring there. And so you're like,
telling me that.
You're like,
that was
you're like,
wild.
like every 30 seconds or so, you're hearing like the slam of a canvas. Like I'm ringing somebody up for a Star Noir book, and they're like announcing a title fight like at the other side of the room.
That's
a good idea, actually.
Yeah,
it kind of is. I mean, I've always said, you know, I've said it many times on this show how wrestling and comics go so well together.
Yeah,
especially the old '80s wrestling. You know.
Yeah, I think you guys would love Brooklyn Comic-Con just for the wrestling aspect of it alone, because that was really fun.
Was it indoors?
Yeah.
Or was it outdoors?
Yeah, it was funny. There were people who were like coming up to my table in like full wrestling gear, like no shirt, armbands or whatever, and they're like, "Cool comic, I got to go wrestle." Like,
that's great. I know when Johnny researched it, the one thing he reported to me was the lack of celebrity stuff going on there. And I think that's why we were originally interested in going, was like, okay, no celebrities, that they're not sucking all the money out of the room. Yeah. It seemed to be like all kinds of like, not even like it was just vendors and like wrestling and a bunch of other weird things, right?
Yeah, the only celebrity that I saw was the actor that played the Black Ranger in the original Power Ranger from the 90s.
Yeah.
That was
usually those have a pretty big line, the Ranger people.
Yeah, he was the only celebrity that I saw. But what I loved about Brooklyn Comic-Con was that it had this small convention feel, but the energy was like similar to New York Comic-Con. Like when they had like a line around the block because there was only like one entrance for everyone to come in. But yeah, like just so much cosplay, like, you know, everyone and so much encouraged drinking. Like, oh my God, everyone had a cocktail in their hand.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, me and Johnny were still planning on going. We put our applications in and I never heard anything until I think maybe about 2 weeks before the show, where they finally sent me a rejection letter. No. But at that point I wasn't planning on going because I hadn't heard from them. And I think the same thing happened with Johnny too. What's that, Harry?
It's too bad you didn't have a wrestling ring at your convention this weekend. Like those two guys,
it's funny when
those two vendors that could have like duked it out in the ring.
Yeah, right. Take it out in the ring.
Right.
We talked about it when we were at the last venue because it was big enough that we thought, oh, maybe we could put a wrestling ring in here
that'd
and
be cool.
do something, but we never, like we moved from that venue, so it'd be tough at the new location at the Hilton.
So
I think.
do you think that's going to be like a year, annual thing now? Do you like?
I hope so.
Yeah.
Like I told you, like we wanted to go there originally, and then for years they wouldn't give us really any good dates to do the show. And then Amy talked to them, and we were able to get it done for a summer convention. And when we were there this weekend, the staff was really nice, very helpful. We met the manager, the hotel manager. She liked what we were doing, and I met with her after, and everything sounded good. So I'm gonna probably approach them in a couple weeks and see what we got for dates in 2025, and see if we can book it again. I think it'd be great,
Yeah.
So, but I'm glad you had a good show, Tony. That's awesome. Yeah. I feel like the New York shows are much better attended probably than the ones up here in Massachusetts and Connecticut and stuff, just because there's so many more people down there, especially in the city and stuff.
Yeah.
You should try one of the Big Apple ones. I remember those being pretty crowded. I think that guy, he still does them twice a year. I don't know what the table costs on those, or if it even makes sense, but those are ones to check out. And then New York is just like, if you're trying to get an Artist Alley table, forget it. It's near impossible to get one, because they're very if you're not a name, they just kind of like whatever,
Well, one of these years, I hope to sneak into New York Comic Con with Johnny. Just try to nudge myself into it.
I used to go. I went for like 5 years straight, and I think I stopped after the first year of the pandemic, because we went whenever they opened the first time, and it was miserable. Like the aisles were so wide that people weren't even coming over to your table, and it was just half the attendance, and we basically, but the prices were still sky high, because it was New York. So yeah, it wasn't a good experience. I haven't been back since, but I don't know, maybe down the road I'll do New York again, but it's such a pain to get in and out of that convention too. So whenever I think about doing it, I think about that, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to do it, because it's just a hassle. Like you have to deal with the union and all this other crap, and it's just you can't just walk through the doors, basically,
Yeah, totally.
Ben, Justin, do you guys do conventions?
Yeah, not a lot, but we do some.
Where are you guys located again? I forget.
Well, Justin's in Texas, and I'm in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay. Oh, good. Wow, you guys are that far apart. Do you guys ever meet up at a convention or?
OVCon, yeah.
Oh, nice.
October.
Nice. That's awesome. You guys should, like, especially with your books, maybe think about doing a couple horror shows and see if you have any crossover, fans over there.
You just went to one, didn't you, Keith?
I was at Monster Expo, a couple weeks ago. That was a really nice show.
Yeah.
We had Joe on a while ago. He's the promoter for that. He was actually at my show this weekend too. Nice guy and runs a good horror convention. But yeah, no, I feel like your comic would do great at one of those,
Yeah, there's a Bigfoot convention that happens out here in Oklahoma. I thought about
really
tabling there. I thought, maybe one day we'll check it out.
Now, I would be curious just to see what kind of dealers they would have there. Because we here in Lemonster, we have like an alien convention or something.
Well, I think it was like a half. I think it was like a half and a half. It was like a Bigfoot / UFO convention, and I'm not sure. Is it the town hall down here? And I don't know.
I haven't seen them do it in a few years, but it's like
I think they may have. Yeah, I've been.
I'm surprised those two groups get along because.
Right?
Well, you'd be surprised because I think if you listen or watch all that cryptid crap, enough, I think UFOs and
I'm all about the cryptid crap. Yeah.
Bigfoot and UFOs could be connected. You know what I mean? Because he may not be from around these parts. Who knows? I don't know.
Oh, you think Bigfoot's an alien?
Well, because like
It's
people,
from
I mean,
north.
I've watched a lot of ancient alien or whatever, and they say that whenever there's like a Bigfoot sighting, there's also like weird lights in the forest and stuff, and who knows, like.
Huh. There's a comic that just came out by James Tinian that if you guys are into the UFO stuff, worth checking out, called Project Blue Book. He did two mini series, and the first one was about the I always forget the couple's name from New Hampshire.
Oh yeah, Betty and Barney.
Barney, yeah. What's the last name? I forget.
I don't know. Hill. Yeah, Hill.
You muted yourself, Keith.
Did we lose him?
You're muted, Keith. Yeah.
Muted.
Nope, still muted.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, I got too excited about aliens and I hit the microphone. But it was about them, the first miniseries, it's almost like a documentary in comic form where they just talk about what happened. And then the most recent miniseries is just about the history of UFOs in the country, from how Project Blue Book started to Roswell to up to modern times. And it really entertaining stuff. And every issue has a backup story with a new creator and artist doing stories about other weird phenomenon. So if you like stuff like that, worth grabbing and checking out. Especially Tinian's like the hottest name in comics right now,
Right.
So and doing something fun like that.
I wish I could read more of his Something is Killing the Children. I read like 4 issues, and I'm just like so busy. But those 4 issues were pretty amazing.
I'm still following that one monthly, and it's really good.
Yeah,
I don't know how he keeps it up. Like every time I think the story's getting kind of boring, something will happen and it flips it in a whole other direction. It's great. I like his it's not to get on a James Tinian tear, but his Department of Truth just started up again. That is a great book. Really like that, especially if you're into conspiracy stuff. But anyways, we have we have a lot of cool comments in the chat here. Daniel Worley's with us. What's up? Nicholas Goitra, is that how you say it? Goltra.
Oh,
no panel. Goltra, looking great. Panel looking great. My friend Beth McNutt. I would love to read a Keith Gleason horror comic. Horror. Amy said, "Yes, Keith and Harry can write, and I dare say I could draw." Yeah, you could. Hey, Don Chin. We haven't seen Don Chin in a long time. Yeah. What's up, Don? Good to see you, man. Beth McNutt, she said yes. And Dr. Mask in the chat. Hail Indie Comics Relay. What's up, Dr. Mask? Glad to see you for literally 2 minutes this weekend at the convention, which is good. Amy said it was great to see you Saturday. Sorry I was so focused on work and didn't really get to say hi. Amy says that Bigfoot, what is it? Is that Bigfoot or a juggalo? Whoop, whoop. Oh, Harry. Oh, well, I'll wait for him to pop in again. Bigaloo. There you go. That's great. Dr. Mass says, no worries. I know you guys are busy. We're going to try to make it out for the October show. That's great. And then Art of Ray. Hail, Ben, fellas, in my topic of interest. Stopping in to say hail and gonna post this on Twix. Take her easy. Oh, thanks, awesome. Roy. Thanks, Roy. Thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, always like seeing new.
What's that?
I'm simulcasting on my channel too.
That's are you really? Oh, yeah. Great. Thanks, man. Hey, anybody that checks this out, I'm happy about that. Oh, breaking! Look at this. Yo!
Oh, what's up, everybody? How's it going?
Johnny.
Yes, he made it. What's going on, Johnny?
I'm at the currently closed Ocean Beach fishing pier.
Nice.
All right.
You've been to the pier before, Keith. I think you remember when we came out to the pier?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's closed. It's closed because a storm came through and washed away half of it.
No shit, really?
Yeah. So you can't go onto the pier anymore. But I just went to the bar over there and I got tuned up. And I looked at the time, and I realized Indie Comics Relay is live right now. So I wanted to pop in and say hi to everybody.
Yeah, definitely, dude. We were hoping you'd make an appearance. Now, Johnny, you know Tony James, and you know.
Of course, I know Tony. Fucking love you, kid.
Love you too, Johnny.
And then we got Ben Soto and his brother this time, Justin Soto.
Oh, right on. Awesome to have you guys. Where's Harry?
He dropped out right before you came back in. I don't know.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Unbelievable, that guy.
So Johnny, when does San Diego start officially? Tomorrow?
So preview night starts tomorrow. I was on the show floor today, and I was actually wearing my Mighty Mascot shirt, but they didn't have AC in the venue going yet. So I literally sweat through that shirt, and I had to change halfway through the day. It was so hot in the venue, the weather's comfortable in San Diego, but they just didn't have air flowing. So I was sweating balls, kid.
Hopefully are they gonna fix that before preview night?
Yeah. I think the reason for it is that the massive doors are open for like big machinery. So they didn't want to run the AC while these doors were open. So in turn, the heat and humidity came in. They couldn't cool the place off. Tomorrow, I'm sure it'll be fine. But setting up today was killer. Let me tell you.
That's kind of what we did at Plastic this weekend. Like I actually had volunteers closing the door after vendors came in, just so that the AC wouldn't go out the door and we wouldn't have that problem. You know. Thank God.
You wouldn't have the Monster Expo problem that they ran into.
Exactly.
Yeah. But that's none on that show. That show is great. Just one of those oversights, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that happens all the time, you know?
Yeah.
That's awesome, Johnny. I look forward to seeing pics and your stories from this week. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I'll try to keep everybody updated, but I don't want to take up too much time for these wonderful guests. So before I pop off, I'm going to give you guys a look at the Pacific Ocean.
Nice.
So give me 1 second here.
Let me make you big on the screen here.
So hold on. I'll see if you guys can see it.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Wow.
We were on this pier with Johnny what was it, 2 years ago, Johnny?
We went for a special edition, right?
Yeah, was that 2 years ago?
That was 2021, yeah.
Dude, yeah, that is such a beautiful
time flies.
area of San Diego.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
I got to
sure.
get back there, brother. I got to get back there for summer.
Yeah, we can make it work. We'll just have to figure it out. Like I said, we got to get another booth on the floor. That way we can bring friends in. You know what I mean?
Yep. I think that's
absolutely.
We'll work
that way we can bring in Ben and Justin and Tony into a booth and represent East Coast on the West Coast.
Yeah,
I like it. And then Johnny, plug anybody. I know you're doing a panel too. Do you want to plug that real quick before?
Yeah. I should probably plug that. So I'm doing a panel with David Lucarelli and a bunch of other awesome creators. That's happening on Friday. You can find it by searching Johnny C in the schedule for Comic-Con. I'm doing another panel on Sunday. So there's 2 panels I'm going to be on. If you just search Johnny C in the app, you'll be able to find which panels they are. But one's on Friday, one's on Sunday. I'll make sure I take pics. I'll make sure I'll keep people updated.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I wish we sent you there with a camera to record it. It'd be great for the show.
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah.
Maybe next.
It's Dave's panel, so he's doing it. Yeah.
Did you know if he's recording it at all, or probably?
I don't know. Unfortunately. Yeah.
It just feels like it'd be useful information for our channel, you know. But
oh yeah, absolutely. So that's the thing. And a lot of it's about writing for indie comics. That's literally what we are. I mean, we had an awesome writers episode that Tony and George Medina were both on. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Things like that, panels like these are definitely very informational. Yeah, absolutely. It was a great one. And so, I encourage anybody. It doesn't have to be at San Diego. If you're at a convention and you see they're doing constructive panels about, just making comics, doesn't matter if you've already made comics. Go to that panel. Check it out. Just make sure that you're aligned with what people are saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Johnny. Well, thank you for popping in, man. It's always great to see you.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry I missed Harry, but great to see you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, good to see
Yeah,
you.
we
Johnny.
still
I
don't
love
get
to
to
pop
see what
in.
happened to him. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop the show to find out, but I figured he'd
Yeah,
be
yeah,
back by
yeah.
now, but I don't know.
I got good cousin Roger Morocco here.
Oh,
How we doing?
What's up, Roger?
he's my favorite comic historian. He's here with me in San Diego.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, guys. Absolutely. Have a good show. Great seeing all of you. We'll catch you on the flip side.
All right, Johnny. Have a good one.
Right.
Yeah. Take care, guys.
Bye. Nice. I was
So,
hoping that would happen tonight.
Ben and Justin, how do you work out the college football thing? Is it Sooners or Longhorns? What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Are you
Just
guys
Texas
football
Tech.
fans? I'm not. I'm the typical geek. I don't like any sports except for wrestling and UFC. I think is the only two that I'll watch.
Yeah, I'm more of an NFL fan than I am.
Oh, okay.
College. Yeah, college doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Nice. Awesome. So yeah, and Tony, what's going? You have Star Noir, and you said you had what's your next project? You have something else coming up, right?
Yeah, this
Noir?
is the last couple of months have been pretty interesting for me. So I had originally intended to remake Reloader, and I was working with this Marvel artist. Her name is Naomi Vittori.
Okay.
And she drew like a brilliant cover for us. I actually showed Ben that cover on Twitter. And
it looks awesome.
Yeah. And then we got to the interiors, and it was what I could best describe it as, like, good, not great. And I think because of Star Noir and the quality of both the art and the writing that Star Noir has, I am in this sort of interesting position where if the next book that I make, the next series, is as good or better than Star Noir, I kind of developed this like brand for myself where you're like, oh, it's a Tony James book. Well, he's going to really bring it in both the art and story. So I had to unfortunately put that one temporarily on the shelf. I think that artist is still great. I think we'll still work together in the future. But Pablo, my artist on Star Noir, he recommended this other artist for this Western that I also have. Like, I've said on the show before, like, I just write a bunch of scripts and I shove them in a drawer. So there's this other Western that I had envisioned doing. It's I don't want to spoil too much of it. We're gonna go oversized with it. It's like Silver Age. I don't know if you can technically call that oversized, but
like a Silver Age size comic.
Yeah, we're gonna do a Silver Age size book. That one's great. That mixes genres the way that Star Noir does. The artist Nacho Lazaro, he's been following me for a long time.
I've heard that name before. I don't know where.
Yeah.
Maybe it was from you.
Yeah, he's actually like a really big fan of Star Noir.
Cool.
And then I was telling him about this Western and all of the crazy things that we do with that Western. And he was super into it. He says, and I was just like, hey, it's 3 acts. I got to expand it to 5. It's going to take a little time. So as soon as I'm done with that, and book 3 of Star Noir is like off the ground, we're going to link up and make that book. So that one's really cool. Yeah, that was exciting. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that one's really exciting. I think the only hint I want to give about that story is Helium-3. It's a resource that you can kind of look up, and you can kind of get some hints as to what that Western might be about. But that one's really exciting. I've wanted to tell that Western for so many years now. And
finally coming to a point where you're going to do it.
Yeah, and the artist Nacho, it's like he's had so many pieces on his Instagram that just look iconic. They just look like they're from books that you've like thumbed through on a coffee table for years. So I'm really excited to start working on that with him.
Nice, that's awesome. And now, are you gonna work on this like in tandem with like Star Noir, or are you gonna try to? Okay,
yeah. So
maybe like next year you might do that one too.
I understand why some creators they kind of have that one series and then they just do like different spin-offs and permutations of the one thing.
Yeah.
right now, not interested in that. There are a few series that I want to get started, and then once those stories wrap, like there's more Star Noir stories, but like I want to get this one and this Western and this other one that I have, and once those are running, we'll kind of just ping pong between the different stories, and then when one is wrapped, we'll do like kind of like a different permutation of that story.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I totally understand, because like making comics is such a huge undertaking that you really have to pick and choose what you want to tell in order, because you're tied up for a long time making a comic. You know, all you guys know.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying anything different here. But like same with me. I'm like I'm kind of caught with like I love the Mighty Mascots, and I kind of want to keep going with that. Like especially now that I'm working on issue 10, which is a huge milestone for me.
That's awesome.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. But I have other ideas like Tony does, or that you want to get out of your head. I'm actually thinking about one that Johnny put in my head. I saw Johnny on Saturday briefly when we went out to dinner after the show, and we talked about this comic that I want to do. And now he's kind of steered me into the idea of making an anthology, which might be something that I do. Like I'll do like the first story to kind of set up everything, and then bring in a bunch of creators to kind of flesh out a bunch of stories. And then maybe I'll just do it as like either a oversized issue or like a graphic novel size thing. And then, kind of go from there. And if I get it off the ground, if any of you guys want to jump in on it, let me know,
Yeah, for sure.
So, but I could share you the idea after the show if you want.
Yeah.
Oh, we might have Harry here. Let me see.
Oh, welcome back.
We got like spinning.
Oh,
wait, here we go. Hey, there he is.
Hey.
What happened?
My computer crashed. I was going to blame aliens, and I was also going to say I'm actually Johnny. Actually, you don't see us in the same place at the same time. So I'm just kidding. No, I was actually watching the show while I was in hiatus. But
yeah, it was funny. You dropped out and Johnny came in. It was kind of wild. It was so wild. But I'm glad he made an appearance. Really quick.
Oh yeah,
I didn't think that was going to happen.
Yeah. Sorry, I missed him.
No, it was good. But what were we talking about? Oh, we're talking about making comics, and let me see. Is there anything in the chat here? Hang on before we go on any further. Harry said he's trying to get back in.
Yeah.
Harry says, "Hi, Johnny." Nothing like all the stuff I missed while we were talking. Nothing like a bunch of sweaty comic fans. Yep. Weather is here. Wish you were beautiful. Let me see. Woot, go sport ball. Oh, Brandon was with us. Hey, thanks for having me. The Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart at Plastic City Comic Con 2024. Yeah, definitely, Brandon. Thanks for coming to the show. Let me see. Western. Oh, look at this. Western.
Oh, yeah.
I am probably on board. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. It's
Thank you for a comeback.
Yeah, it's an absolute love letter to that genre. Yeah,
that's
it's
awesome.
Along with those horror films in my father's cabinet, there were all the classic westerns were in there.
I love good westerns.
I mean,
man.
the Wild Bunch, like holy cow.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah,
and all those Clint Eastwood ones are so awesome.
Yeah,
love those movies.
I think Tombstone's my favorite.
Yeah,
Tombstone's a great one.
That's fine. Yep.
10 books in a series is huge. The most I have in a series is 3. Oh, thanks, Dan. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was going to recommend. I just saw Horizon. I
wanted to see that.
One. Fantastic. All the reviews are horrible for it. But I loved it. I thought it was great. So I wish it was. I know he's making 4 of them, so the movie kind of just stops after 3 hours with no kind of like, how like a movie will have a wrap up even though it's a trilogy. It just kind of stops in wherever it is in the 3 hour mark. But overall, awesome. And as writers, you guys will love that because it's I think he juggles like five or six different storylines in there.
Wow.
And it bounces between all of them seamlessly, and he'll introduce major characters at the 2-hour mark. It was like crazy, but it's really good, especially if you love westerns. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then another comment here. Great show, Keith. I love the day. The people can't wait till next year. Oh, that's great to hear. Thanks, Pete. So enough about me, though, and my convention. You guys are here to promote comics. So let's talk a little bit about the Trick or Treats. Where did you guys get the idea for this? Is it just from watching like good horror anthologies or reading good horror anthologies?
Go ahead, Justin.
Yeah, so it came from I think mostly like reading a Lovecraft. That was our first story, or a couple of stories that came from inspiration of like Lovecraft or something inspired by Lovecraft. So we decided to do just these short stories. We wanted to do something short and not, like a long, grandiose story, as we found that was a little out of our capability at the point when we started Halloween Head Comics. So we wanted to say, let's just see if we can tell short stories first and see if we can really nail those down.
That's smart,
that's
though,
what we
Justin.
did.
Smart, because a lot of people come out with their 1,000-issue epic right out of the gate, and realizing that was too much. And I mean, people don't normally, start. Well, I feel like people want to do their major comic and not really do short stories. So it was good that you guys thought of that at first. It's usually the opposite way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Like you get into it and you want to tell your magnum opus. You want to tell like that this is the story that I was born to tell. Before you can even walk, you're trying to run a marathon, and
right.
So that's that was the kind of the point of it. Was like, let's see if we can just tell these good short stories. We want to make them the best as we can, but we also want to just focus on really quick stories. So that's what we did. We released the first issue of Halloween Head probably back in, I think it was 2017, which was just 2 stories of one was from me and one was from Ben, inspired by Lovecraft. We did it again the next year, and then the year after that, we decided let's collect them. We'll put it into Tricks and Treats Volume 1. We did that 2 years ago. So yeah, it has been like 6 or 7 years since we started doing this. It's been a little bit.
Great. I like I love anthologies. So like, I think what you guys are doing is great. And and thanks for bringing me aboard to do some lettering for you guys.
Yeah, of course.
That came out of like nowhere, and I love it. I mean, I love the stories I worked on. All of them are great. So
Thank you.
Especially, I gotta admit, my favorite was that last one we did. I don't even sure how you pronounce it. Is it Die Bruck?
Die Bruck. Yeah.
Die Bruck. Okay.
Yeah.
That one, and Ben, you shared that video with me.
Did you watch that?
I did. It was pretty crazy. I showed it to Amy too, and because she likes that kind of stuff.
Nice.
And I liked what you guys did with that story. It very like throwback to your Lovecraft roots, but I also love World War II stuff. It was such a good mixing of the both genres.
Yeah.
That that was by far my favorite of all the stories that I worked on from you guys.
Then you'll love my pick for tonight's comic that I'm sharing, because
nice. Yes.
It deals with World War II, Nazis, and Bigfoot.
Okay.
I'm in.
I can get behind that. Yeah. You get behind that. But yeah, no, I love when people do like wacky like crossovers like that,
Yeah.
Not that you guys this one was wacky, but like I'm talking about the one Harry's talking about. It's just, I just see how that all works together. But
I was trying to find. I was scrolling. I'm like trying to find a comic. I'm like, wait a minute, what is this? It's like Nazis, Bigfoot, and like whatever.
Yeah, that's always good when you find the weird things like that. Actually, mine tonight is a monster book too, so
cool.
that's kind of cool. So we kind of lined up a little bit. But yeah, so no, I love the idea of this anthology. And do you guys have you guys? I know you crowdfunded the last one, and this one is very close to being funded, which is good. And you still have a bunch of time
Yeah.
To get it done. You're at 91%, and I'll show the campaign here shortly, and you have like 30 something days left, I think.
Yeah, I think like 39 days left.
39 days. Yeah, you guys should hit this no problem, which is great. Are you guys continuing on with a third volume next year?
No, we're actually switching gears and doing more character-centric stories now.
Okay. So what's the future of is it Halloween Head Comics? Is that the name?
Yeah.
What's the future for you guys after this?
So we're planning a 10-issue maxi series.
Okay.
I want to say it's all ages, but it probably is more like PG-13.
Okay.
Because there's going to be some scary stuff in there. It might be a little too scary for small ones, but it is going to be a little more like younger oriented.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like YA or something, like with Supernatural or something like that.
Yeah, probably something closer to Stranger Things.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like that. Is there any other any more of the plot line you can give us, or is it kind of like you guys are still developing it? Or
no, I mean I can drop you more or less what it's about. It's
like what's the elevator pitch for it, if you don't mind?
I haven't really developed a good solid elevator pitch yet.
Okay.
But I'll give you a little brief
okay, that'd be great.
So it's about a kid who just recently lost his mother. And so him and his father moved to his mother's hometown where she's buried to help take care of her father, who's his grandfather. And when they're in this town, there's this cult activity going on. And he comes across the spirit of this, he's a good guardian spirit of the town to kind of protect it. And he's kind of this legendary story about this headless rider who killed this kid in a pumpkin patch.
Okay.
And so that's that little boy. He's a ghost, and his purpose is just to protect the town from anything that crosses over from the other side. And so this guardian spirit and this boy join forces to fight against evil, this evil cult that's resurrecting stuff.
Oh, cool!
I love that.
Yeah, so it's called The Frightening Adventures of Little Jack.
Okay, cool. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
I like. I could see that working. That's kind of like there's something similar, not just in the title.
Ghost Whisperer? Is that what you think?
Kinda. Well, no, more like
oh, Jennifer Love Hewitt? Yeah.
Yeah, she was.
No, but I'm thinking more like maybe like Paranorman, or like
Paranormal.
No, but there was an animated one called Paranorman.
Oh, right.
That was like a lot of fun. That was kind of like almost like a PG or Coraline or something like that.
That was
right.
Kind of
a little bit of Hocus Pocus in there too.
Yeah,
like that.
I like the idea of like this cult resurrecting like monsters and things like that. Or it's like Buffy with like the hell mouth and
exactly.
Yeah, that's good. That's fun stuff that you can play with and build a whole world around, essentially, which is great. I like the idea of that. I can't wait to see that come out. You guys gonna do it like a single issue every?
Yeah, floppies.
Yep.
Cool.
That's great. That's awesome. All right.
I'll pull up an
Halloween
image
Head
right now.
Comics. Yeah, that's awesome. Venturing out from the horror anthologies. I love it.
So, did you guys like independently become writers or artists without knowing it, and then you collaborated at the end, or do you guys were all doing it together, or how did that work out?
That's great. Look at that.
Oh,
thanks.
Yeah, can you zoom in a little closer, Ben?
Yeah.
Oh, there.
Yeah, I want to see like some of the details.
Oops.
It's like the Headless Horseman superhero.
Right. Yeah. There we go.
Yeah, look at that.
Just like the glow effects on the pumpkin.
Yeah, and I like the skeleton guy.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
so that's what the kid looks like when he channels the power or whatever.
Right. Yeah,
I like that. It has a nice Halloween feel to it still,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that working. That's great. Almost like a good version of what was that? It was a Jack-o'-lantern, the Spider-Man villain there.
Oh yeah.
Remember him? Like a good version of him.
Exactly.
That's great. Yeah, I look forward to that, boys. That looks awesome.
Yeah.
You guys are both working on that one together?
Yeah, Justin's penciling, I'm inking and coloring.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. And you guys both co-wrote it?
Yeah. Well, we both kind of co-plot, and then I do the scripting.
Nice.
Okay.
That's great. Yeah, no, I love collaboration like that.
It's like the Coen brothers for comics.
Yeah,
Right.
Right. It's a great comparison. It's great. No, I love it, boys. Actually, while we're here, we start taking a look at your campaign right now, so we can share it to the audience.
Oh, and Harry, just to answer your question.
Oh yeah, right.
Oh yeah, do that first, and then I'll share.
I had always wanted to just draw, really, and then Ben had always wanted to be a writer. Eventually, he decided that he wanted to draw too, and that's really the reason I started drawing, is because Ben started drawing. This is back when he was like, I think 14, 13 at the time. And I was probably 7 at the time. I wanted to do whatever my big brother was doing, so I got into drawing around the same time he did. And then as we got older, he just kind of developed more of a writing brain than I did. I always just wanted to draw pictures. Like, I didn't really care for reading. That wasn't my bag. So I kind of counts because it looks cool.
Were you guys both avid comic readers, or?
We tried to be for a while. My mom, I was telling the story, and it breaks my heart still today. My mom got into the whole Satan in the toy box stuff, like
Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
Oh, no, really?
So one day she comes into our room and she's like, take all your comic books and throw them away. I'm like, all right. Yeah. So we did that. And then like 2 years later, she's watching Oprah, and I come home, and I guess they were doing an episode where they're talking about how valuable like Superman issue #1 is. Yeah. And she's like, your comic books could be worth something. I was like, they could have been. And she's like, do you have any comic books that are worth money? I was like, no, you told me to throw them all away, remember? And she's like, no, I just meant the bad ones. I'm like, no, that's not what you said. You said all of them.
Now, real question, did you really have anything that was worth something?
I not like big, not anything big money, probably like $50, $60 these days, nothing
Oprah is always right though too, and the thing that
she's always right. Yeah.
The thing that's most impressive about her is that she always makes the cover of her own magazine. Magazine. Yeah. I don't know how she does it, but
that's amazing. It's quite the feat.
I know, really.
Quite the accomplishment to be on that magazine every month. Let's take a look at this campaign. That's funny about your mother. My mother never did that, but she always was like, get rid of these things. Anyway, I never did,
I think every kid has
she didn't like
story.
The clutter is what it was,
It's actually nice meeting her over the weekend. I never met her before.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You get to meet her.
Yeah, it's cool.
I wanted to ask you guys is how was your experience, Ben, with Fund My Comics?
Yeah,
I haven't done a campaign with them yet. Has it been good, or
it's been pretty decent, especially this time. I think the last time I used it, I did a second chance campaign for Volume 1.
Yep.
And it was still new, not a whole lot of traffic. But this time it's doing pretty decently.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good. The layout is a little weird, because I guess you're used to the other crowdfunders,
right?
Like I wasn't. This is interesting, like how they have the links up here for all your stuff, and
right.
But yeah, no. As you scroll through it, it starts to look more like a regular, like a campaign from another site,
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So you guys are right there, 91% ready, and just want to scroll through. Look at all these bald men. Love it. It's great. And oh my god. So let's. I want to kind of go through the different. This is the cover for Volume 2.
Yes.
Okay. Perfect.
Like Preston Acevedo.
Oh yeah, I've heard that name. I think I've seen him on other things.
Yeah, he's a fairly popular cover artist in the indie realm.
Nice. He does a really good job with this. Looks awesome. Love the werewolf.
Yeah, he's ripped.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, he goes to the gym.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he's ripped. He's taking that MGH or whatever.
The HGH, yeah.
Yeah, HGH is an HGH.
That MGM. Brand.
Yeah, right. So, and how many stories are in this one, Ben or Justin?
Shown here is going to be 6 stories, but we're working on a 7th short story.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. Awesome. So this is I'll just go through them in order here. So it goes all on all fours. If you want to just give me a brief summary of each story, that'd be great.
Yeah, so this is about an Navajo man who just kind of goes for a spirit walk in the desert, and the real reason he's there is kind of revealed towards the end of the story. It's a place where there's been a lot of missing people.
Okay.
And he discovers why there's been a lot of missing people.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I like the artwork.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Yep.
Thanks. Yeah.
And then Cephas, I know this one because I worked on this one. This one is
right.
Would you consider this one kind of like a Morbius type character?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, he's a vampire who was betrayed by his coven, left outside to burn in the sun, survives, and then comes back years later after he's stronger and healed up to destroy them.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. And you got a lot of info across in such a short story. That's the one thing about doing short stories. You learn to become, get to the point quicker on a lot of things. And I really liked working on this one. I thought it was a cool character. And do you have future plans to continue this one?
Yeah, I would like to. And some of the people that have read it have reached out and asked if there's more to the story.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's good feedback. When you get
definitely.
That. Yeah, this one was fun. And then let me see.
And you did a great job, Keith.
Oh, thanks. I try to when I look at a story, I try to mimic what you guys are doing with the letters as much as possible. Try to hear their voice in text. Or just the aesthetic. I try to match the aesthetic with what you guys are doing as well. So that one was pretty easy. And this one is another one I worked on, the San Nefando. Is that how you say it?
Nefando, yeah.
Nefando. This one was good too. This one's very Lovecraftian.
Yeah, very Shadow over Innsmouth.
Yes. Reminded me of what is that? Is it Lovecraft that there was a movie about it.
Dagon?
Dagon, yeah, that's what it reminded me of. Dagon, by the Stuart Gordon. That was great, and this would remind me of that a lot. And so if you read that story, yeah. So this one was good, and this one's like a couple kind of wanders into a town, and stuff happens basically. If you know Lovecraft,
basically, yeah, they break down in a town, they find these squid monster things, and Lovecraft story ensues.
Yep, I love it. And this one is my favorite right here, the one I was talking about earlier. Die Bruke? How does
I think it's Die Bruke.
Yeah.
German. Deutsch.
Yeah,
it's German.
Yeah,
it's German.
So this was like a German World War II story, but also very Lovecraft, and I loved working on this one. This is my favorite by far.
Yeah, man, you made this story sing. Really, it really came alive with those letters you did.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah,
especially right here, that lettering, that was awesome. I love what you did there.
Yeah, I was trying to get for that, if the monster was communicating telepathically,
right?
Look weird and otherworldly, So definitely wanted to get into that. And
you nailed it.
And I think I made the choice not to put the borders around the balloons because I thought it blended in better with you guys' artwork here too.
Yeah.
So, and then just stuff like this was really good. Like this panel, it's wild. I just love weird, remember those comics, weird war stories and stuff? I just love stuff like this. So this one was great. And then this one was good too. I mean, you guys have a lot of good stories in here.
Yeah.
This one was like an old EC Tales from the Crypt kind of story.
Right. Stylistically, this is probably the most fun I had.
Yeah. I agree. And for me with the lettering too, I tried to match right here
the offset.
The offset, outlines and things like that.
Yeah.
It reminded me of a Creep Show a little bit.
Yeah, right? Doesn't it? Yeah. It definitely has got that Tales from
Hitchhiker.
the Crypt. Yeah, yeah.
Thanks for the ride, lady.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Right.
Creep Show 2. Love it.
Yeah, that's the thing that made me afraid of Lovely Nielsen for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, that was my first. After that,
But Creep Show was basically just because Carpenter and Romero couldn't get the rights to Tales from the Crypt, so they just created their own thing, you know. And it's the same thing, if you know, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is great. I love the way you guys colored this and the feel of it. It's just old school. I love it. And it's a great story too. It feels like one of those old Tales from the Crypt stories where you kind of don't know what's going on, and then at the very end it's revealed and you're like, oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah, good stuff. Now this one I'm not familiar with, the Cross the Sea. What is this one about?
So this one is it's about a deep sea diver who's looking for treasure with his uncle and his crew. They go down, or actually he goes down to look for the sunken ship that has the treasure they're looking for. He ends up finding some Lovecraftian creatures down there. This was actually the very first story or comic I ever published myself. This was probably done in 2015.
Oh, wow.
The whole thing is done in watercolor. Each panel is its own painting. I had just gotten out of college, and I was like, I feel like doing something really artsy for my my first comic outing, published comic outing. So yeah, I did this.
I was going to ask you. It looked very like watercolors. That's cool.
And so this is a remastered version of that. Me and Ben went through it. We tightened up the monologues and the dialogues, and he adjusted some of the coloring on it. And so we put it together, made it a little more succinct, a little tighter story wise, and we're putting it out with this collection.
Man.
I love that panel, by the way.
Yeah, it's a great, like the colors here too, and the water and everything.
You just give me an idea. We should do like a collaboration. The story of Wilson, whatever happened to him. You know, where did he go? You know, who cares about Tom Hanks? We get it, you know. What about Wilson?
Yeah, that's right. He was lost at sea, wasn't he?
I know. Maybe he got together with, maybe he had a family. You don't know. Like,
oh, this is neat. You're gonna do a second cover with just the pens
just the
and
pencils. Yeah, this is just a virgin cover. So
I like it.
No dressing. Yeah.
You should do a colored one of that too, without the like a virgin style. Maybe I don't know. Just throwing it out there. And then you guys doing so you got a bookmark. You're doing a sticker. That's a good one. Button, wristband. That's a nice idea. I haven't seen that in a lot of campaigns. And you guys
is Halloween your favorite time of year, or would you guys say?
No, I'm more of a Easter guy.
Oh, Easter.
No, I'm just kidding. Let's get around and watch Easter movies.
That's unusual.
Oh, that's great. And you guys are doing commissions too on top of that. That's
Right,
great.
yeah.
Great idea.
Cool.
Awesome. I like the shirt too. I actually like your logo a lot for your comic company.
Yeah. Anthony Wynn did that.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. And that was like, that was like when you guys first decided to be a publisher or self-publisher.
Yeah. Well, actually, it was whenever we launched Volume 1.
Oh, okay. And was he one of the artists that worked on
said Anthony Wynn, Ryan Wynn.
Oh, Ryan Wynn. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wasn't sure if that's who you meant or not, but
Yeah.
Ryan's great.
Yeah, Ryan is great.
I like Ryan a lot.
I miss Ryan.
I do too. I don't see him on YouTube. I see him he posts a lot on Instagram, but it's hard to talk to somebody on there.
Yeah.
One treat I had this weekend at my convention, Fabrizio came to the show and set up, and so I got to talk to him a few minutes.
He's one of the good Italians.
I gotta agree. I'm Italian too. You wouldn't tell it from the name, but my mother's maiden name is Pasco, so I'm half Italian.
But which half?
Yeah, right. But no, I like this campaign, fellas. I mean, I think there's no way you guys don't hit. And I recommend just based on the story, the handful of stories I worked on, this is worth grabbing, especially if you like horror stuff. And you said there's going to be a 7th story that's not listed on here, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now, what's the 7th one going to be?
If you scroll up to the top,
Okay.
you'll see the writer. His name's Chris Parfit.
Let me go up. Hang on. Chris Parfit.
Yeah, him and his brothers have a podcast called Belief Hole where they talk about paranormal stuff, and that's kind of where I met him at. They actually found us. Yeah, go down just a little bit.
Okay.
He's on that list of guys right there. Chris Parfit.
Oh, there's okay,
right.
Yep.
Yeah, so he wrote like kind of like children's poems, and they're kind of creepy. And one day he told a story in the podcast that one day he read them to some friends of his, and they're like, "Yeah, maybe don't read those to kids." And and so I reached out to him. I was like, "Hey, Chris, you mind if we publish it? And you can draw it, illustrate it?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, sure." So he sent us the poem, and so
oh sweet. So you guys,
so that's what I'm illustrating. It's like a 4-page story.
Oh, okay. So it's like a bonus story that'll be in
right.
There.
Yeah,
fantastic. And as far as rewards, let's see what you guys got going on here. Okay, so you can get the book digitally for 10, which is always good. 3-pack for 20, and that's what do you get?
That's volume 1, volume 2, and then we've got this Frightening Adventures Little Jack kind of preview book. It's like I'm calling it issue 0.
Okay,
but even though it's like more of like a far ahead kind of just random adventure of his.
Oh,
and
cool.
It's 14 pages, and so I'm throwing that in there as well.
Oh, nice. That's great.
I just haven't got around to coloring it, so it'll be black and white.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's a bonus thing, right?
Right.
So, and then $30 will get you the physical book. You get a bookmark, you get the sticker, you get the button, you get the wristband, all of that for $30. That's pretty good.
Yeah. 100 pages.
100 and would you say 100 and something pages?
It's 100 pages. Yeah.
100 pages. Yeah, that's good stuff. $30.
Wow, that's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot, and you get the digital version. That's pretty cool. And then you get the cover B, $30 as well. And then both covers for $55. You get a little bit of a savings there. And then this is book and sketch. Oh wow, that's not bad either. And then you pick the cover. Okay, and then we got book and sketch, Ben and Soto, and then one by Justin Soto. Okay.
Right.
And then trick or treat bag. Oh, that's cool. So you guys are actually designing a trick or treat bag too?
No, it's just what we call this package.
I see. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I misinterpreted.
No, you're good. We did it with volume 1 as well, where we had like just about everything in there.
Yeah, you throw everything in there. Oh wow, you guys get a sketch from both of you guys on top of that too.
Yeah.
And you get a print. That's cool. Numbered physical ash can. Oh wow, that's awesome. And then you get the graphic t-shirts. Are the t-shirts doing well for you?
I've only sold 2 so far.
Okay,
so it's all right. I mean,
yeah, right. It could go bad or could go
right. Could be 0.
Could be 0. Yeah,
could be
true.
3.
Yeah. And the prints are nice. You get the cover and then the Cephas one, which I think that is a great image that you should use for print.
I love that. Yeah.
Came out good. And you get a mug. Yeah, you guys got a lot of stuff. Oh, and there's more?
No, that's it. I turned the pagination off, but it still shows at the bottom.
Oh, okay. So even if I hit it, it won't go anywhere.
Yeah, it won't go anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, it's a great campaign, guys. It looks cool. I'm glad to hear Fund My Comics is getting better. Like you said, it was a little rough at the first one, but now the second one's like a night and day.
Yeah.
Nice. No, I like what I'm seeing here. And no, it looks good. I recommend everybody check this out. I'll let me put the link in the chat here. Does Fund My Comics, do they work with PayPal, Venmo, or what do they do for payments?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure they do PayPal. They use Stripe. I think that's what it's called.
Oh, okay. That's sort of PayPal. I think it's the same company, I think.
Yeah. The other ones use that too.
Oh, do they? Stripe?
Yeah. Indiegogo, Kickstarter also have Stripe.
Gotcha. There's so many. Let me see. There's some great comments here. Dan says, what's a good middle of the road price for a cover artist?
Depends on how good they are, and
I mean, guess what level of yeah, like you said, level of skill that you're looking for. I've paid anywhere from like 75 to like almost 300 for a cover, depending on who, you know what I mean, who's doing them and the skill level. How about you guys? Any experience you want to add to that? Or
I usually just go for if I see artwork that I really love, and then the artist is like, oh, this is what it is, and I'm really surprised by the price, like, oh, that's what you're gonna charge, I'm definitely in. So it's just kind of like a sort of personal taste of like, you love this art, and then also like the price for it is kind of surprising and very exciting.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll put in like a request and have people send me portfolios, and some people are criminally undercharging themselves because their skill level so high, and then other times it's the opposite. The skill level's so bad, but they're charging so much, you know. So it's like
it's always been a question for me too. Like, what what to charge somebody for my drawings, whatever. I never know. Do I charge by the piece, by the time, or I mean, it's like,
it's tough because you gotta find that sweet spot,
right?
I think like where you don't want to go too high or too low, but you also don't want to undercut yourself as well, So
right,
yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes like with Amy, like when she makes a puppet or something, like the amount of time she puts in there, and if she charged what she should, it would be like no one would buy one from her, But it's just trying to find that price, where you can live with them, doing the work and then getting paid somewhat worth what it's worth,
Yeah.
But other questions here. Fund My Comics, at least you can actually contact a real person. Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that. Yeah. That's cool, because sometimes you have problems setting up something and you want to talk to somebody. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think you could get anywhere with anybody on Indiegogo or Kickstarter, so they got one up on that. Dr. Mass said he likes Preston's stuff. Yeah, I gotta agree.
He's awesome.
I'm sure I've seen a bunch of it, but sometimes it takes me a while to associate the name with the art sometimes. Blast Beat Industries, what's going on, Brian? Come to Austin.
Hey, Brian.
I have a show tonight at Shakespeare. Starts at 11. I would, but I don't know when the next flight to Austin would be. I don't know. You guys near Austin?
Well, Justin's a couple hours away.
Yeah, I'm a few hours away.
You gonna run down there tonight?
I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. Amy said Ryan is very talented. I gotta agree with that. GJ Martinez with us. What's going on, man? The bros that I love always. Good to see you, Justin Soto and Ben Soto. Hello, Keith Gleason and the rest of the panel. What's up, GJ? How's it going, man? Evening chat. Amy said my audio is cutting out. Am I cutting out at all, guys?
It was earlier. You're fine now.
Yeah.
Sound fine. Okay.
Yeah. Gremlins tonight. A lot of weird things going on.
Ryan is currently in the bunker. Plus, his job keeps him busy. I wish he would come back. Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
Miss him. And I put the campaign in the chat for everybody to check out. Belief Hole podcast.
There they are.
Freaking love Halloween head comics. Last issues we got were killer. Awesome. And so this is what was his name? Chris.
Yeah, it's either Chris or Jeremy, his brother.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure which one's
Chris,
running there.
Jeremy, whichever one you are. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
Mr. Parfit's the easiest.
There you go. One of the Parfits. There we go. And then Brian says, Detroit is the most Halloween obsessed place in America.
Nice.
It could not be a hit there. Yeah. Maybe you should market to Detroit.
or Salem. I mean, that's pretty Halloween.
Yeah. Salem's pretty crazy in October around here.
Yeah. Well, it's Halloween 24/7 there. It's like, all year round.
It is, but like it's worth
365. Yeah.
We did a show there, like one of those art festivals in the street. It was pretty crazy. It was like the weekend. It was like Columbus Day, that Monday, and it was still crazy busy there. Ron Larry, what's up? What's going on, Ron? Nice show, Keith Gleason. Thanks for dropping by. Ron Leary's a cover artist for like Dynamite, and
Well, he would know the answer to that question, right? Ask him.
Yeah.
How much...
Well, Ron is definitely one of those high end guys.
Oh,
He's
high-end.
like his paintings are like heavy metal magazine quality.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's like one of the or Ron, if you if you wanted to answer that, you could in the chat, and I'll put it up. But I know you're more of a high end artist, so you definitely your skill levels are crazy good. So, what else have we got here? DS Cartoons, what's going on? Dropped by to say hi before the stream ended. Yeah, good to see you here, man. Amy said Salem is overrated. Okay. I agree a little bit. We're both here subscribing to Indie Comics Relay now. Love
you. Cool. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thanks, man. If you guys, I see you guys got a YouTube channel. I'll pop over there after and subscribe back as well. Thank you so much. Appreciate that, guys. And Ron Leary says, yep. Detroit has Devil's Night. And Amy says Ron Leary is amazing and very professional artist. And GJ says you can't go wrong with Ben and Justin. Their storytelling is fantastic.
You tell him, GJ.
Their art style is gold. I will agree with that. Having worked with both of you guys, I agree immensely. I think you guys got some great stuff. And I would say definitely check out Tricks or Treats Volume 2. The link is in the chat. If you are tuning in tomorrow, if you're not watching us live, just go to the description of the video and you'll find the link to Tricks and Treats. If you love horror, if you love indie comics, you will do yourself your favor and back this campaign. You can get the digital for as low as $10 and or the book for $30. And there's lots of bonus stuff that you get with it. So do you guys, does Fund My Crowd do stretch goals with the campaigns?
I think that's independent. Like that's up to you if you want to do that or not.
So you can, yeah. So is this like going forward? Are you guys going to specifically be using this platform?
I would like to. I think so. I think we're just going to use this going forward.
Okay. No, it's good to hear. I mean, it's still such in its infancy. Like I've only heard a few people that have really, taken to it. I think you're the second creators on our show that have had a campaign on there. And so it's interesting to find out, I want to look into it a little more, but I think I'm probably going to stick with Indiegogo since I built my fan base there. I was going to try Kickstarter again, but I think I'm doing myself a disservice by just not, if you build it in one place, you might as well just stay there,
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a second chance or something like that, or I don't know.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt if you did a second chance campaign just to test it out, test the waters.
Just to test out other places, yeah. That might be something to think about, especially if you save all the graphics and everything,
Yeah.
Just
copy and paste it over.
What's that?
Just copy and paste it all over.
Yeah, exactly. Awesome. And then let's take a look at Star Noir here, which is still going on, right?
Yeah, still in demand.
Still in demand. And issue 2, you said, is about finished, huh, Tony?
Literally on the last scene of a 46-page book.
That's great.
It's been very, very labor intensive. Very excited to get to the end finally, and to really show it off. So if you want to grab the book, because fulfillment's going to start soon, so you can jump in through here and grab the book here. It's LA Confidential meets the X-Files. It's about a 1940s homicide detective who teams up with a gray alien to stop a shapeshifter who's killing LAPD officers in Central Station. Everyone really loved the first book, put a lot of pressure on the second book to be even better. But I really do think that the second book, you really kind of get the sense that the first book was really just the tip of the iceberg. but the burden of Act 1 is you can't really show all the cards just yet, and you got to really efficiently kind of get the story off the ground, introduce the characters and the main conflict. Book 1 does that, and now book 2 is like, okay, now we're off to the races. Now we're going to see this human and this alien detective work to find out which one of the LAPD officers is actually an alien who is taking hearts from these fallen detectives.
I love it. Reminds me a little bit of Alien Nation. Do you remember that short-lived? It was great. Short-lived TV show and a movie.
I actually have some in the drive folder of some of the new pages that were not in the original.
Yeah, I pulled that up here too. Like
the first one.
It's a great book, Tony. It's well written. The art is beautiful. The colors are amazing. I'm so jealous of the colors.
I know.
Yeah.
As a colorist, I really appreciate it, and I was just so jealous. Like, man, I wish I could color like that. It's awesome.
I'm a little jealous of the lettering too. Like, I love the way your letterer did the music stuff here too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really, really well done. And the sound effects are great too.
We're just constantly bouncing ideas off each other. The letterer is Marco is an Italian letterer. Yeah, he's just so brilliant. He just has such a deep knowledge of where to place everything. He has his own ideas. I mean, the putting the musical notes on the bubbles, on the edges.
It's great.
That was his idea to kind of make it more sing-songy.
And then I bet he added all this stuff too, right? The musical notes everywhere too. Yeah.
What's the go-to font for lettering?
There's a bunch of them actually.
Comic Sans, Time
Comic Papyrus.
You can't go wrong with Comic Sans.
Yeah, right.
There's a bunch of free ones on was it Blambot?
Blambot, yeah.
But I say the best ones are the ones you buy from Comic Craft or even from Blambot. But there's a ton of different ones, Harry.
I'm wondering if you recognize this font here.
This font.
Just trying to quiz you.
I have
this one does not look familiar to me.
Mm-hmm.
But what I was going to say is a lot of it's matching aesthetics, like I was saying earlier, especially with the Soto's horror comics.
Mm-hmm.
I used a couple different font choices in there. Because it complements the story. So it's almost like when you create a logo in your world here,
right? Yeah, right.
Trying to find that perfect font that would kind of help sell the business or whatever the logo is for,
Mm-hmm.
So it's finding that same aesthetic with comic lettering. But yeah, no, this is really good. The first issue looked awesome too, and
this is a restaurant that existed at the time called Tom Brenneman's.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, cool. It's now a Duane Reade. If you go to Los Angeles, that spot is now a Duane Reade. So having to recreate there's just gigs of these research photos of just trying to find different angles of what this building looked like, what the phone booths looked like, what the spacing was in that phone booth, what even the directions on the payphone that came from research photos.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Did you visit LA before you did this book at all?
No, I mean I've been to LA, but a lot of this is from photos and then playing LA Noir, just taking screenshots.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a great idea. That was a great game.
Yeah. That game actually helps kind of fill in some of the gaps because a lot of these things are not in color. So you kind of have to take some creative license.
A lot of research. It's like doing a movie. You have to research the time period of when this took place.
Yeah,
it's really good though.
Yeah,
really good stuff. Let me see. Let me go back here, and let's take a look at these other ones. So these were just finished recently, kind of.
No, these are kind of all over the place. I just wanted to kind of pick a couple that were
just
the most striking.
I love the backgrounds. This artist is really good.
This is a kind of a humorous moment where Ellis meets a dog that really is not too friendly, and he's trying to be very nice and almost gets bit. It's kind of Alan, our main human detective. He's kind of getting case information, and meanwhile, Ellis, our alien, is messing around with this dog and almost getting himself in trouble.
I like his handbook there.
Yeah.
That's great. Great stuff. I like how your paper, the edges is like a beige, not really a white. Was that something the colorist did?
It's aged, right?
Yeah,
It's like the aged look. Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah, to kind of make it kind of feel a little bit more vintage. He did that.
I like that.
He did that in the first book as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Like it almost gives the illusion of newsprint.
Yeah,
a little bit like that. That's great.
Yeah. And the
so we did that in the first one. I don't remember that. I have to dig it out again and take a look. I guess it's more noticeable here on my monitor because it's bigger.
So this is a private detective named Louis Simpson that Alan meets, and he needs information out of this private detective who's kind of very smug, very smarmy, and they have a confrontation about it. And I love Marco after he gets punched in that second panel, just the way he like makes the weak dialogue in the third panel.
Yeah,
I really love that choice
where the words are all jumbled, kind of.
Yeah,
it's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's great stuff. The art is really well. Like there's so much motion even to this punch. Like you feel it. Like his back is arched up. Like it's really good stuff.
Yeah, Pablo is amazing. He's very easy to work with. He just I feed him so many ideas, and the way he interprets them, like it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it's really cool, man. And what was that in this other thing on? You said
so this other thing. I recently went to Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And there's a script that I have that involves this tank that is stuck in the sand on Isla Culebra. It's a tiny island off of the southeast coast of Puerto Rico. And the history with this island is that in World War I, World War II, and Vietnam, the Navy used this tiny island to test weapons. So like in the water, there's a lot of like shell casings. Actually, I went snorkeling and got to pick one up. It's like so heavy that it'll keep you underwater.
Yeah.
And so one of the most famous things is this tank that they just sort of like abandoned and just left it there. And now there's like, crabs and fish swimming under it.
Wow, look at
looks
that. That's
like
really cool, man.
Looks like a painting almost.
Yeah. So there's Gwen and I standing next to it. But yeah, so like I had written a script years ago, and it's very heritage Puerto Rican based, and this tank like is featured in it, and then just kind of had this idea like, hey, why don't we just go to that island and go see it up close?
Nice.
And, that's exactly what we did. So yeah,
and this is a tank video.
That's if you want to kind of see it, just there. But yeah, just it's just stuff for future stories that'll see the light of day eventually.
Nice.
But yeah, right now Star Noir and then a Western.
Yeah, that's great. Let me share the link for Star Noir. If you haven't gotten in on this book, we've had Tony on many times promoting the first issue and the second issue, and now you can get both on this Second Chance campaign. So since you're getting close to the finish line, are you planning on closing this campaign soonish?
The first in demand for the first book, that one's also still going.
Is it still open? Okay.
Yeah.
It might as well, as long as you're making sales off of it.
Sometimes people will grab the single one. Sometimes people will come here to the second one and get both. So I just kind of make a dealer's choice, whatever you want.
It's smart. I mean, people go here to shop now, like not necessarily on people's websites. So you guys find that experience too? Yeah, I think it's like the modern day comic book store in a lot of ways,
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so check that out. And same as I said earlier with Trick or Treat Volume 2, If you guys are watching this tomorrow, the link will be in the description of the video. So definitely check out Star Noir. A couple more comments coming in. Let's see. JG Martinez getting me back into comics. Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. Love hearing that. Belief Hole Bro sent me. Awesome. Robin Sue. Hey, Robin. Thanks for coming on the show.
Welcome to be here.
Yeah. Heard of our shout out the Soto brothers in the show. Killer guys with killer work. That's awesome. That's great. Ron Leary says, very nice book.
Cool.
And I think he was talking about, I don't think he's talking about Star Noir, but I'm not sure. Maybe talking about the Soto brothers. I don't know.
No, I think Star Noir. I think that's cool.
I always appreciate them so much. And to this day, I'm amazed at the fantastic commission they both did for me. Oh, you did a commission for him. What was it?
He wanted Rob Geronimo's, what was the name of the character, Justin? Do you remember?
Wirehead.
Oh, Wirehead. Yeah.
Fighting against Jason Voorhees. And so
that's awesome. Yeah, that's great.
He drew one half, back in Texas, and I drew the other half here. And then when we got together, we kind of lined them up and kind of finished inking them.
That's
so
awesome.
It looked like one big piece.
That's great. I got to read Wirehead. It was great. I thought Rob should do more like that too. I know Blood Realm is, I mean, he's at the point where I am kind of with Mighty Mascots. You've done so many issues. You should keep continuing that because people love Blood Realm. But I liked his Wirehead a lot. I'd love to see more of that.
Yeah.
And then he said, cheers to that, JG. Let's see. Belief Hole said, really digging Tony's attention to research for Star Noir. First time hearing it. Sounds really cool. Of course, love the alien twist. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you got to pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
Yeah.
Get
it's
Tony's
worth
book.
it, especially if you love noir detective stuff. Or if you're a fan, like I said earlier, of Alien Nation or X-Files.
X-Files,
LA Confidential. You love stuff like that.
And we make the alien encounters very, very creepy. I mean, book 2 has some ones I've been kind of keeping under the hood. But yeah, those scenes came out pretty well.
You could even say Who Framed Roger Rabbit to a degree is very it's set in LA, right? Around the same kind of time period.
I thought that was Chicago. That Who Framed was that?
I thought it was. Was it Chicago? Because I think it was California. Wasn't that the one where they were trying to build the highway, right?
Yeah.
And that was like the big villain thing, the villain plot or whatever. Or am I thinking? No, am I mixing that up with LA Confidential?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Sure.
What was Roger Rabbit in LA Confidential?
Yeah, no, because I think it was. I think it was a highway because I think Judge Doom wanted to destroy Toontown to build a highway, wasn't it? Wasn't that the whole thing?
I don't know. I haven't seen
it in a while since I've seen it.
It's been years.
But that's noir, even though it has like a million cartoon characters. It's very noir,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said, welcome to be here. Oh, thanks, man. Ara joining us. Wow, great. Ara, it's good to see you for a few minutes this weekend. He's like, oh, man, I'm ready.
Well, it's on a Tuesday, so it's kind of a weird night.
Yeah, it is a weird night. No Johnny C, although we had him for a cameo tonight, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, fellas, anything else you want to say about your campaigns that you want to share with the audience? Either.
Go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, definitely pick it up. The White Shoe Slaying is the name of the reward tier that you're looking for if you want to grab both books. So yeah, once fulfillment happens, you'll just join everybody else and be fulfilled all at the same time, and then you'll be primed for the Kickstarter in October for the third book.
That's for part 3, right? Issue 3.
Yep.
And this is going to be a 6 issue, was it?
Six issue. I honestly can't believe that we're going to start working on 3. I didn't think there was going to be a number 1, honestly.
Well, once you get the ball rolling, it's easy to keep going,
Yeah.
The hardest part is getting that first one in the can.
Yeah.
How about you, Ben and Justin?
Yeah, I just want to say, pick up Star Noir. It's a great book.
I
Great
love
writing,
the indie
great
support.
artwork. Yeah, definitely. No, I love that book. It's definitely like an X-Files type vibe, and I love X-Files, so I gotta say that.
Yeah, I agree. It's really good.
Yeah.
If you are not on my mailing list, if you didn't sign up early, send me a DM on X or Facebook, and I will give you the discount code. So if you have not purchased Tricks or Treats yet, and you would like to, message me, and I'll give you a discount code.
Oh, okay. What if you want to share in the chat your Twitter handle there, that'd be great.
Oh,
and, yeah, please reach out. And so this is a discount code for the current campaign.
Right, the current campaign, it's free shipping on the physical books.
Cool.
Or if you just want digital, it's 20% off.
Oh, that's nice. That's very cool. Yeah.
So reach out to me and I'll hook you up.
Awesome. And like I said, I highly recommend it, especially if you love horror. There's a bunch of great stories there, and these guys do a good job with it. So yeah, that's awesome. And anything else you want to add, Ben or Justin?
Justin, go ahead. If you got something.
Pick up the book. I appreciate it. If you can't pick it up right now, just if you wouldn't mind sharing it out, just get the word out there.
Yeah,
maybe
great
somebody else
idea.
can pick it up. But yeah, appreciate all the support that we've already gotten. Appreciate being here. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
Nice to
cool
finally meet
opportunity.
you too, Justin, by the way.
Yeah, we've been exchanging
great.
emails, but it is nice to meet digital face to digital face.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe one of these days I'll see all three of you guys at a convention or something, and we can catch up and maybe grab dinner after the show or something,
That would be cool. Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you guys anyone have any plans coming to the East Coast at all? Or I know I should get to Texas sometime. I heard they have some good cons there, but
what's the temperature there now? Is it really hot there, or like super hot?
The area that I'm in is not too bad. It's been raining all day, so it's in the 70s, 60s right now.
Yeah, that's what it was like today for us, which was good.
All right. There's my link in the chat.
Oh, perfect. All
Did the wrong one first.
Let me see. Is it in the private chat?
No, I put it in the chat itself.
Oh, you did? Okay, perfect. Okay. Thanks. Yeah. So definitely hit up Ben for a discount code for Tricks or Treats Volume 2. And so if you guys, we're probably going to move into the other segments. So like I said earlier, if you guys want to stay, you're welcome to. But if you want to drop and get to bed or whatever, play some games or watch some TV, you can leave now. And we won't take any offense since we're going to
I do have to go. I do want to thank you, Keith and Harry, for hosting us.
It's
and
nice meeting you virtually.
Tony, it's great seeing you again.
Yes, I got to come back on your show.
Yeah, definitely. And Justin, I'll see you. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah, and if you guys ever need me as a guest or anything, let me know. I'll definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So awesome. Yeah. All right, and then Tony, are you going to stay too? Or
yeah, I actually did not eat dinner, so I got to go do that.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, actually, before I go, I just seen it show up in the private chat here. So let me share it out.
Yeah.
This is Ben's Twitter handle. So go to Ben for some discounts for Tricks or Treats Volume 2.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Well, thank you so much for being on the show as always. Love having you here. And when you have new projects or you want to come on, hit me up. I used to say a couple months early, but now it's looking like 4 or 5 months out. Yeah. It's like crazy how many people are coming on the show now. So
all right, so Star Noir book 3. It's gonna be it's gonna
we'll
be in October.
We'll get a date for you in October and November.
Yeah.
Hit me up tomorrow. DM me, Tony. We'll get you on the calendar.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys. Have a great night.
Nice seeing you guys.
Right. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Later. Thanks.
All right.
See you later.
Later, guys. All right. So moving on to our new segment here, which is our crowdfunding recommends. We don't have Johnny with us tonight.
Oh,
so
he
it's
didn't leave one.
Going to be me and you.
We can go. I can go first because I don't know much about mine. We can find out together.
Yeah.
Learn together.
Well, let me play our little intro here. So hang on.
Yeah.
All right. So
and we're back.
What's that?
And we're back.
And we're back. I love those little headers that Amy created for us. They're pretty awesome. So so your choice tonight.
Did Amy show that little Johnny flying to
No, I never got that video. I should have.
I thought maybe I missed it.
We were talking about it.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Let me go back out real quick because I don't think I clicked the audio for this because you said the video was something else, right?
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. I like the artwork and the theme or the.
Okay, perfect. There we go. So now your choice was Sasquatch War Ender, and you were telling us a little bit about it. Now
I was looking at this and I discovered it like maybe a week and a half ago when I was like thinking about what the next one to promote, and it says here launching fall of 2022. Is it possible that it launched then and then it's not even out now? I mean, because at the bottom
maybe.
Because at the bottom of the page here it says there's a 2024 date on it, so I don't know if it's still. And this is
I don't know. I wonder what.
This was pre-ordered too. It's like a pre-order thing here. So
I don't know. War Ender. So maybe they did it on a different platform or something.
Yeah, because when I discovered
the artwork looks great though.
Yeah, I like the black and white, and then the splash
really well drawn though, like really nice looking. Yeah. Let's look at the video. I'm curious. Is it a long one?
No, it's pretty short.
Okay. Beautiful artwork, dude.
Yeah, no, right. 60.
Really good. Wow.
Yeah. It's got everything I love. It's got Nazis. Oh, not Nazis, but not Nazis. Don't get me
great, dude.
Bigfoot fighting Nazis and World War II stuff.
Holy shit, that's awesome. Yeah, this looks great, dude. So we don't know if this ever got made or not. I mean, this is a preview page from 2022. So they might have made this. They might not have. I don't know.
It also says pre-order too. So I don't know. I guess you can pre-order the thing, but
yeah, I guess we'd have to look into it. But
I know it caught my eye. I'm like, oh, sweet! Like it
looks great. I would love to get this book. I'll have to look it up later and see if actually.
They're fighting Nazis and an evil scientist who wants to clone Sasquatch to fight for him or for them, I guess. Or so it's kind of cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah, mine's like a monster one too, and that's this one. It's a Confederate Monster number 1 through 4. Now this is by Dave Schwartz. He is a fellow, used to be part of Alterna like I was, and he started this book. He was on our show a couple of years ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was on when he was doing issues 1 and 2. And it's basically if they did the Frankenstein monster, but in the Confederate times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool story. And I've read 1 and 2 and I really like it. I'm glad to see he's finally finishing it. He's got 48 hours to go. He's already hit his goal, which is good. But I thought I'd share it here, put some eyes on it. He never asked to be on the show, which, we would have tried to have him on, but I figured I'd share it. And Dave's got a great artwork. He's a great storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And if you like Frankenstein and you like Frankenstein's monster, I think you'd like this book. As you can see, it's really nice.
I do like him. I do like him for the same reason I like the Hulk, because any superhero that didn't ask to be made, created,
always the best. Yeah.
He didn't ask to be made. He's got put together by this crazy scientist, and everyone hates him now. And they're chasing after him with torches and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I felt bad for him. I don't know. You just feel sorry for him in a way, the character.
Yep. And this was the book that was at Alterna when I was there, The Feast or Famine.
Mm-hmm.
And that was like it dealt with like Albert Einstein and Tesla, like alternate versions of them from different realities. It was a pretty cool book. But the Confederate Monster is really cool. And like if you like a twist on Frankenstein, I'd say check this one out. Dave's a great creator. I'm glad he's coming back to finish it in this book.
Yeah.
So you got 48 hours to check that one out. So jump on it if you can and support indie creators. That does it for our recommend section. And now let's move into our shameless self-promotion.
Sweet.
I love these bumps that Amy made for us. I figured this would be the section where we talk about maybe more if you had more. I'd love to hear more about what you saw and anything at Plastic City, and then I could share some mascot stuff a little bit too.
Oh, did we get those your figures? Your little figures?
Yeah, that's one I have. So I got to talk to the 3D printer that was at the show this weekend. His name's Lars. He's his company's called L&K 3D printing.
I think I actually I bought my friend's eldest son a dragon. He makes a dragon.
Oh, you
right?
bought? Yeah.
So he liked the size of the dragon that came with the egg that he also printed.
Yep.
And he's like, oh, I want the dragon, but not the egg. And I'm like, well, how much are both? Because like the little kid, his little brother wanted the egg. I'm like, you know what? Just buy the set, and you can have the egg, you can have the dragon. Like whatever.
Yeah,
so,
right.
pretty elaborate. Like looks really cool. Like the shininess of the dragon. And
yep. Cool. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So he brought me some samples. So we're working out pricing, and also when I did the mascots, I didn't want them to all be the same size. I wanted them to be kind of like size accurate in the comic.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted like the humans to be smaller, things like that. So he brought me I don't know if you can see this, but so I did.
Oh, cool. Wow.
He did Boxer Bear. Let me see if I can make myself bigger here.
These are different than the ones you were showing me, right?
The ones I was showing you were one color.
Yeah.
So he's able to do 4 colors. And then we bought this kind of plastic packaging.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then we had Mondo made too.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did how on action figures on the back you have these ties to hold them into place. So that's what we're kind of doing. The only thing I have to do is design the back now, so it's not just a white white thing.
These look much better.
Yeah, they're really nice. The details are incredible on them. So they weren't going to work as muscles. I originally envisioned them as muscle figures, which are those little pink guys. Remember those from the 80s, those toys?
Yeah. Yep.
But when I was talking to this 3D printer guy, Lars, he was saying how elaborate it is, and it's hard to do them at that small size and make them work.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be done a different way. So when he showed me them in a bigger size, I was like, oh, I kind of like those too, So, so I'm going to pursue it and see if I can make a nice packaging and,
How is it price wise? Is it comparable to the
not
first?
Bad. I think I could sell a set for 20, which I think is pretty worth it. Would you say that's a good price?
No, I think so. Look really good.
And if I sold all 4 sets, maybe I can knock off $10 or something. But so yeah, each figure is, depending on the size, is anywhere from a couple bucks to $7 or $8. So, and I figure with the packaging and everything else, probably be about $20, and where I can make a little bit of money and I think it would sell fine at that price,
So you'd sell them by themselves as a set, and
I'd probably do. There's 8 of them, so I'd probably do 4 sets of 2, and I would sell each set for 20.
Mhm.
So you get 2 figures for basically $10 each.
And would you do a bundle with the comics? Or
Yeah, I
just...
would do something like that. I was
Mhm.
even thinking about might be too much, but going the He-Man route and putting like a mini comic in there. Remember a lot
Mhm.
of the He-Man figures had the mini comics.
Oh yeah, yep,
I think that would be
yep.
kind of fun, but it might be too much. It might bring the cost way up high, but
That's actually kind of smart though, because like like that was my friend Lucy and her 3 kids. Like one year for Christmas, I didn't know what to get them, so they have these like for the little girl. She's like my goddaughter actually. I got her these little things called calico critters. I don't know if anybody has kids that.
Oh yeah, I've seen those.
Like little animals, like animal families. It's like koala bear families or giraffe families and like bunny families, whatever. So I got her some, a family in a little like a house or whatever they all live in, or a camper or something. And she like loved it. And every year, and then her brother, her older brother and her younger brother like wanted some too. I'm like, oh, all right. So almost every year for the past like 5 years, I've got them calico critters. I'm like, there's other things, guys. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is like it's not a scam, but it's like a gimmick where calico critters like has the same family, but this time they're in a camper, or this time they're in
a
house, or in a beach house, or
like how many times can they sell you the same thing?
Exactly. I'm like, this is actually it's actually pretty brilliant. You know what I mean? Because like you keep changing the scene around. So
it's like Pokemon. How many times are you gonna buy Pikachu?
Yeah. Right.
It's crazy. Like, but yeah, no, I
So maybe you can do different like settings with your figures. Like here they are, and in this setting, or here they are.
Yeah, she loved them.
Yeah,
but so yeah, I'm thinking about that. So I think when I do the next campaign for 10, I might add those in as an extra thing to help me make the goal quicker and stuff. And
you can
do some crazy things too. Like he said, he could make the alien, like I can make him glow in the dark, if I want to, or I can make all the figures one color. And make them all glow in the dark if I want to do crazy variants, or so I don't know.
You can create the laboratory where they're all made, or
right,
do like
play set.
Right.
I'm trying to think of like so their origin is they become alive because of a 3D printing accident.
Oh yeah, yep.
So now it's like you get your own 3D printed versions of them, or something. I don't know.
That's cool.
Maybe it could be like the original 3D heroes now in 3D, or something. I don't know, something like that. Maybe put that on the packaging, or be kind of fun. But yeah, no, I like it. I like where it's going. I'm glad we're finally making them. Been trying to make these things for 2 years now.
Yeah, I never seen those versions. They're pretty awesome, like the detailed ones.
Yeah, no, I was really happy with what I saw when I went to the Plastic City, and he handed them to me.
Did you see him? Did you talk to him during the summer stroll? I know he was there, right? Is that what you?
Yeah, I saw him there too, and the first time I talked to him was at an art festival at Devon's. That's when I first started talking to him. I knew him because he did my show a couple of years, for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And we just started talking, and I said, hey, what do you think of this? And I started telling him about my plans for figures. And then this guy actually knows his stuff. Like he's got like 4 or 5 3D printers, and he knows all the material, and, so he's a good resource. The other great thing about him, I don't have to pay for printing. I could just meet up with him somewhere and get the figures not pay for printing, pay for shipping. So I could just meet him somewhere and pick it up instead of like,
so he's local.
Mailed. He's local. Yeah. Which is even
cool.
huge.
Yeah.
Bigger, so yeah, I'm excited about that,
Oh, they came out really good.
Awesome. No, thanks. Yeah. I forgot to I wanted to show you guys. I'll have to show you on the next live stream. My friend John Mills made me a nice like shadow box of the Mighty Mascots. And my God, the artwork and everything on it is so incredible. Like, I don't even think holding it up to the camera will do it justice, but I'll show it to you guys next time. Next time we're live. It's pretty awesome. I want to put it back here in the backdrop somewhere too. So, but I'd say everybody tune in tomorrow for our Plastic City wrap up. Me and Amy talk about it. for like 20 minutes, all the different things and all the stuff we loved, threw in a bunch of pictures and things like that. So you guys check that video out, dropping tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the YouTube channel. Harry, you have anything that you got?
Did you say goodbye? Did you get a chance to say goodbye to Jimmy Hart before he left, or did he just leave? How does that work?
I did. No, I went over there at 3:30.
Yeah.
I walked him out to, almost to just the doors of the show.
Yeah.
And my mother was right there.
Yeah.
And I said, "Hey, Jimmy, it's my mother." And my mother was wearing like a black shirt. Like he was dressed all in black.
Yeah.
And she was wearing a black shirt. And he said, "Oh, hey, we both could work at the Olive Garden." He said to her.
Cool.
Just kind of funny. My mother had no idea who he was. She never watched wrestling.
Yeah, I was telling my friend and her kids, I'm like, "Oh, this guy right here is very, very famous. He's a very famous guy." I was like, "Oh, really?" Like, they just didn't know anything about him.
They don't care, right? It's not like a TikTok star or something,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, and then he left, and I checked with his handlers yesterday to just make sure he got back to Florida. I guess he's going somewhere else this week to some other show. So the guy's a busy guy, man.
Yeah. How'd you end up like finding him or booking him, or was it?
I ended up when you become a promoter, you end up getting emails from everybody, like every agent in the world that's trying to book a guest somewhere. Like they just randomly email your convention website. And that's cool. Sort of how I found this guy, because this guy had all these wrestlers he represented, and he sent it to me. And Jimmy Hart and I think Bret Hart were the same price and on the lower end of things. And I was going to get Bret Hart, but after talking to Johnny, he's like, "No, go." Johnny was absolutely right that like Jimmy Hart was a better with the guest and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I went with Jimmy, but I wouldn't be opposed to getting Bret. But you said you met him before, right? And he was kind of
no, I never actually met him. I was at a convention that he was at, and he looked kind of like slumpy in his chair and something else.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from a few people, that he just kind of shows up, and that's about it,
Yeah. Just kind of shows.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Randomly.
Well, I'll have to see next year I'll have to look at the wrestling list and see if there's anybody there that we could get in the door. That would be pretty awesome,
Yeah. Well, good for him for coming up. I mean, he's 80 years old. Yeah, he's still doing it. It's pretty crazy. Like,
dude looked awesome for his age. Like,
yeah.
I only hope I look that good at that age,
Right. Yeah.
Holy shit. But I wanted to ask you, do you have anything you got any promotion stuff that you
I can show that latest logo that I did. I'm pretty proud of.
Yeah, if you got it, I'd like to look at it.
Yeah, I have it somewhere.
Then we'll wrap this up, because we've been going for like 2 hours and 12 minutes. So
I do have a PSA also, because you know how I was telling you about that dilemma I was in, like, how do I, this that job that I was offered, kind of.
That's right. Yeah.
So, the guy was very. I mean, I've been talking to him for the past 2-3 days, and I think after everything, it was a scam. I think.
Yeah, what we're talking about is Harry got an email. Was it an email?
It was an email that I got on last Thursday. I got
an email from a client looking for a logo, right? Was what it was?
Or it was actually like a COVID prevention type thing, and he wanted 8 drawings on 8.5 by 11 size paper, or in PDF format, just depicting certain things, aspects of COVID, like doctors wearing masks, or people, 7 people, a few feet apart washing their hands, or standing in line. It's just different scenarios of COVID, just to teach kids from the ages of 15, up.
Like rules, or like
and then
guidelines for COVID kind of thing.
It was a very lengthy email, and many paragraphs with like directions, and each thing was explained fully. Like, so you wouldn't think it was like anything suspicious, because it was very involved, and there were some misspelling of words, and like the English was kind of like weird too, a little bit. And I'm like, what? So I'm like so then I at the end it said
they find you through LinkedIn or something.
LinkedIn, right? Like, yeah.
Okay.
And
I get
that,
some wacky emails from there too.
And that kind of made sense to me too, because I apply to things all the time on LinkedIn, and I don't even think of it. You know, there's no way to research it either to see who you emailed or whatever, because you just click the easy apply button and your online resume gets sent to wherever, you know. And at the end, it said so he wanted $1,000 for each drawing, each scenario, for a total of $8,000. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy. You know,
what that he wants to pay you that much?
Yeah, for each thing. So that was like, wait a minute, is this
that's a little crazy?
Real? So then in my head, I'm like, wait a minute, because I this sounds too good to be true. And it said and because of the crazy, the amount of money we're talking about here, I'm willing to send you a partial payment in the form of a bank check. I'm like, okay. Oh, all right, but he never asked me for any pertinent, personal information like social security numbers or anything like that. It's like, all I need is just your number and your mailing address so I can send the check. I'm like thinking the whole time,
oh no, that's very scammy.
Yeah. So then I'm like,
and who does a check in this day and age? It's like,
right. What are we?
Everything's like PayPal and Venmo now.
Yeah. So then I was never not suspicious. So I'm like, is there any way we can meet? I didn't know if he was local or not. Can we meet? I'm like, where are you based out of?
Get a call on the phone.
Yeah,
can we talk?
Something? Exactly. That's right. That's what I suggested. And he's like, no, let's keep it texting and emailing. I'm like,
Yeah.
And then I'm like, so then I kept asking questions and questions, whatever. And I'm like, listen, so how about so I can feel safer, let's put it in writing. Can we write a contract, and figure it and do it that way? He's like, sure. Why don't you write it up? I'm like, you want me to write it up? Because I'm the one, you're asking for me for work. I have to write up the contract, So I actually wrote one. So I wrote it over the weekend during your convention, not during it, but around that time.
But yeah, during the off times, yeah.
I finished it, on Sunday. Your convention was on Saturday, so Sunday I finished it, and I let my friend Lucy actually read it. She's like, "Oh, it looks good, professional, whatever." So then I'm like, "All right, I want to send it," So I hit send, and it got bounced back. I'm like, wait a minute. So I'm glad that I never ever could have told them anything. God. Yeah, so
that they probably would have stole your identity off of
the
info you gave them. And
so anybody out there who just be careful what
when it sounds too good to be true,
right? It usually is. But let me see.
What? We have to fight a lot of scammy stuff on the Plastic City front, on the Facebook page. We get a ton of it. I noticed we had to start monitoring comments because there was people they would, whenever we post something about a guest coming to the show, somebody was going in the comments and saying, hey, vendors, if you want a table, there's tables available. Just email this email.
Oh, wow.
And they put their email. So, and it's going to somebody that's not even associated with us or anything. So me and Amy had to start monitoring comments. And whenever we saw that, we'd have to block the person and, delete the comment. So there was one that was up there for a couple of hours one day. And it was like, God, I hope no one sent this dude an email,
Yeah.
If they did, I haven't heard about it. So thank God. And then we get a lot of emails from people claiming to be Facebook and that our page is in violation and it's going to be shut down and all this other crap. And I was like, yeah, buddy, sure. So I just delete it, so we get a lot of crap like that. So Facebook has a lot of scammy stuff on there,
Yeah, well, it's getting to be close to that the election year, so who knows what it's going to be like.
Yeah, it's going to just get worse.
It's going to get a lot worse. So let me see if I can present here so I can show you that.
Present it, and then we'll close out the show after we get to see the logo here.
Share screen, right?
Yep.
And then share screen. Hopefully I'm doing it right. I can never not. All right, here we go.
You got it?
I think so. So where are we? Entire screen, right?
You have to pick your screen on your side when you do it, I think.
Okay, so pick a screen.
And then you pick the one that it's on if you're doing two monitors.
Oh, here we go. You just click on the thing.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so.
And then you just click to the one wherever the image is.
All right, so here's my image.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. That looks good. Can you zoom in a little more?
Let's see.
Oh, yeah, you showed me a little bit of this one. Was it last week or last time we were live? Or was it or did you show this to me at Plastic?
I think at Plastic, yeah. I think I showed you on my phone, actually. So here,
that's what it was.
So this is a freelance job they did for the Natick Fire Department.
Yeah, it looks nice.
They're building out, and it's called Downtown is a nickname of their building there. So I actually they sent me a picture of their building, and I drew the whole thing. I'm no architect, so it's not drawn exactly, but like
it looks nice.
I'm very happy with the way the bricks turned out. Like if you can, I don't know if I can. I can't even.
Oh yeah, I can see them. Yeah, they look good.
Yeah, so I did like I had to teach myself how to do a pattern, and any image you click, any shape you click on, it becomes that pattern. So it came pretty good.
That's like the beauty of YouTube. Whenever I need to know something like in Illustrator, I just look it up, and there's usually a video on how to do it.
Yeah, we used to do that all the time at the place we used to work at. How do I close?
Right.
But here we go. So I had forgotten how to do it because I haven't we haven't been there. It's been like 4 years, and they tore down the building. Actually, I just found out recently.
Deluxe.
The Groton building is completely torn down. And
really? Did they?
Who told me that? Oh, right. Because after your convention, I went to Market Basket to get dinner with my friends.
Yeah.
And so while I was there, I ran another former Deluxer at the Leominster Market Basket. And it's like, oh yeah, Harry, it's gone. The whole thing's gone. I'm like, what are they putting there in place of it? It's like, I think they're building, doing housing there. I'm like, is it like ex-Deluxer housing or something? He's like, what are they?
Weird. Do they still have the Townsend facility?
Yeah, that one's still there. But they do printing there still.
But the Groton one is gone.
Gone. Huh. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. It's nuts. Well, I mean, they were like a paper product in a digital world. It wasn't going to last long, I
mean, they were so. I mean, I was just. Not that anybody wants to hear this, but it's just like so dumb when we were there because after you had left, there was 2 levels to that building. So they closed down the entire top level, and everybody from the top level moved downstairs to the bottom level, and just to save money on air conditioning and heating and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Thanks, Amy. And I'm like, so why couldn't they have use their brains and maybe rented out the spacing upstairs, and like made some money,
You would think, no one thinks like that,
No,
especially corporations.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
So
but anyways,
right.
I'm gonna wrap this one up. We've been going for like 2.5 hours. So, but join us. I think we're off next week, Harry.
Okay.
And then we are. Let me just look at the schedule right here. Yeah, we're off next week, but then after that, we have two, possibly 3 weekends in a row.
No.
There's I know we talk about keeping to the schedule, but then Johnny and me have so many friends that we got to do favors for that.
Yeah,
it ends up being extra shows, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but after that, we're probably on track for a while at least. So.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I do enjoy the weeks off because it gives us a little break,
Yeah.
But
cool.
So next Monday we're off, and then the following Monday we're back. So, so everyone check that out. All right, everybody, thanks. We're gonna wrap this one up. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Go back our guest projects. Check out everything that we got working on. All the links are in the description of the video. And tune in tomorrow night. Me and Amy made a video with the Plastic City wrap up. You want to check that out. It's like 20 minutes. And we just talk about all the different aspects of the show and, what we thought about this year's convention. So, all right, everybody, till next week, we will let you go. Any last words, Harry, before I wrap this one up?
Well, since Johnny's not here, as he always says, read some comics.
And be excellent to each other. Yeah.
Exactly right.
All right, everybody. Have a great week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. Good night, everybody.
Good night.